All right, here we go. Iman Shumpert. Welcome back to VladTV.
Good to have me back, man.
We went viral last time.
We did?
That LeBron part of the interview. We talked about his basketball IQ.
Oh, yeah. It's always people like hold on to everything you say if it's concerning Bron. So.
Yeah. Well,
Crazy.
You got an important voice out there.
I guess so. It starts a cool conversation, though. Anything we talk about, as long as I'm always down to have a conversation. I'm never really scurried away from that.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about what's happening right now. We're in the middle of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Celtics versus the Heat. And then you have Dallas versus Golden State.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is going to happen?
I gotta see what Dallas does. Give me until after game one. You're gonna have to tweet me or something. Give me till after game one because I don't know. Luka and Brunson in the playoffs have been really impressive, and it's gonna be interesting to see what lineup Golden State goes with. Like I just feel like they can transform their lineup in ways that other people can't with their personnel. And it's going to be interesting to see because sometimes Dallas mixes it up with their lineups. They'll play small ball with you, and it looks pretty good. So I think I just want to see the first matchup just so I can get a feel for how it's going to be played, at least what they're going to throw at them. I would say if I could go off right now, I think it's going to be a Warriors Celtics matchup.
Okay. You actually have a lot of experience with this. Most of the current lineup from the Warriors.
Yeah.
You actually said you hated that team.
Yeah.
And you were playing them.
Hell yeah. I was supposed to hate them. The basketball guys told me to hate. I was supposed to hate them with all my heart.
What was it about them you hated so much?
They was a different version of basketball.
How so?
It was different. It was how we all learned is how, it's like that traditional way of life. Why not go and get the easy points at the rim? And then, as you start heating up and getting more of a feel, then you shoot your deep shot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they had completely butchered that mold.
Right, with Steph.
And said, when the jump ball goes off, we hot from three.
And just outscore you.
Yeah, that pissed me off. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I didn't think to do that when I was a kid. So a little bit of it is that. Like, why ain't I think of that? Like, I never liked shooting threes. I always wanted to look tough and go to the rim. Like, I felt like that was how the game was played, all willpower. I always felt like defensively, I was like, I want 3 fouls at least, bro. Like, to let me know I'm trying to impose my will. Like, I'm not trying to just let you have the game. You know what I mean? I felt like that was a version that the guys I was around, Kyrie, JR, I felt like these are the guys that this version makes sense. Bron back down at the end of the game. Like, this is what we grew up watching. Mike, all them playing the post. This is how you got to win. Mm-hmm. And then here come these guys like, no, we'll shoot it from half court. And it was working. Like, you tell everybody, you live and die by the three. Like, you tell everybody that, and then they win. And it's like, I hate y'all.
Because I remember I lost $1,000 because of y'all in 2016. Yeah. In the finals. I remember I was interviewing Tank.
Oh, when we was down 3-1.
Right. And I remember we bet during the interview,
that's
like on camera. I bet them that the Warriors are going to win. And since they were up 3-1, it was like, okay, this is a shoe-in. And then y'all had gone fuck all that up. And I actually had to pay him and everything.
We was really going off the sheer fact that it was like, I remember we started the thing and stuff was like, I think I could still smell the champagne or something. Like, they was talking crazy. Like, it was a fun time though. Like, I was happy that they did do that. Like, they gave us life, Jay. Like, that whole little stunt, what was that, 3 years back and forth with them? Like, that just gave us life on every summer, you know what I'm saying? Thinking about something, thinking about a bigger picture all the time. Like, that was the only way a lot of us could confide to the roles we was in, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why it was special. Like, I'm like looking back on it, it's cool. Like, even though when it happened, I'm like, Katie, why the hell would you go over there? It's like when I ran it back in my head, I'm like, how raw is that we had to deal with that, bro? Like, that shouldn't have happened, but we had to deal with that. I can't wait to tell somebody later on, like, hey, bro, you realize we had to deal with Katie going over here dealing with these people, man. We had Steph and Katie on the same squad and Clay gunning and Draymond yelling. Like, we got all this on the same. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool to look back on, like, because, you know, you go through your different points in life of how you feel about it. And it's like, back then, I'm like super mad about it. A couple years later, I'm like, man, get me back in the league. I'm going to do. And then it's like, now I'm watching it as it all developed. And I'm like, damn, that's cool as hell that we've been a part of so much goddamn history, bro. Like,
well, yeah, I mean, that was the first time in finals history that a team came back from 3-1. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's never happened before. So everyone was like, okay, this finals is over.
Yeah.
And it was not.
That's a lot of people in life, though. That's why it's only 400 players in the league. Like, you only got a few people that are sick enough in the head to think, out of this billion people, I could win.
Right.
Like, you got to be sick. You got to be a little sick in the head. Like, you got to be that kid that people be like, man, you're crazy. You got to be psycho a little bit. Like, yeah, I am crazy. Them crazy motherfuckers go to the league. You know, I don't know what it is about that, but it's like some kids, you see it in them from an early age. They just like, that's all I want to do, bro. And you manifest it. You bring that energy. You go competitively find that game. After a while, somebody gonna see you, especially now. Somebody gonna see you. Somebody gonna take a videotape of you doing the right thing.
I mean, Gary Payton II, he might be out for the finals.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think with him being out is going to really change the trajectory of Golden State?
Yeah, because he was one of the issues that I saw for Luka. Like, you're going to have to deal with that. That's aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't play, like, he plays offense on defense. Like, that's how I learned to play it. Like, TA, that's how we all, like, you play offense on defense. Like, you might not get as many shots or as many swings where you just sitting there, so you just make something out of nothing. And you plot somebody dribble. Like, I feel like he plots dribbles and gets on your rhythm real early, and he could do it in the open court. If you got a guy that can chop a shot clock down the way he can, if you look at him a lot of times, they had the boy from New Orleans that did it all the time. They call him Grand Theft Auto. That's a raw ass name, by the way. That shit is raw as hell.
Grand Theft Auto.
What is it? Grand Theft, what's his last name?
Yeah, Grand Theft Alvarado. Jose Alvarado.
Yeah, so they call him Grand Theft Alvarado. I just don't want to disrespect. I just know it was raw as hell when I heard it. I heard it go across the screen. I'm like, that's raw as hell if they know about it. But they do a great job of picking up the ball handler early, and now they're shaving your shot clock down. So they automatically putting whatever play you got to run, whatever action you got to run, they putting it under duress. So that's why people are willing to make the mistake, because you trying to think about hella things now, and then you look back at your shot clock and you got 14 seconds when you should have a good 19 to breathe. See what I'm saying? So it's like guys that do that, Luka being somebody that's never sped up, if you take his shot clock every possession, at some point I got to see him sped up. And once I could see that, I could judge. But it's like, that last game, there's no way. Like, I don't know what Phoenix was on. I don't know what type of whatever they did the series before that drained them. I've never seen CP and Book like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just, I don't know if they was dead. I don't know, but you know what I'm saying? I'm just used to a better closing game than that. Like, Luka, I need to see Luka under duress.
Well, Patrick Beverley made some comments about Chris Paul.
Yeah.
He called him a human traffic cone.
Yeah.
And someone actually made a picture.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Have you seen the picture?
Oh, I saw it.
They literally put his face on a traffic cone.
Oh, I saw it. There's another one where he's dribbling past it. He's making a move. I saw it. The internet's quick.
Oh,
the
yeah.
internet is undefeated.
I mean, do you think that was out of line for Patrick Beverley to say that?
Yeah. But it's Patrick Beverley.
Right. I mean, and you can't say Patrick Beverley is at the level of a Chris Paul. I mean, it's nowhere near that. So for him to say that is kind of...
No, he competes with Chris Paul.
Yeah, but he's more of a role player.
But he competes.
Competes.
Who does he have to guard if they play him?
Okay. I see where you're going with this.
Who does he have to guard?
Chris Paul?
That's what I'm saying. We could and it sucks because I'm always this guy that has to I know good and well what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. All I'm saying is I don't be surprised. Patrick Beverley plays like that. He say shit like that while he's like, this ain't like, that's why when he said that, he said, this ain't a secret to the league. He wasn't saying we all feel this, but it's like, bro, you just stop acting like y'all don't know how Patrick Beverley feel about you. He gonna tell you when the jump ball go up. He gonna tell you, bro. He gonna say, this ain't the first time Chris Paul heard none of that.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? That's why I just felt like everybody jumping into it. It sucks because we're in this sensitive time now where everything's sensitive, and it's like, bro, you kind of know Patrick Beverley's gonna say. I didn't know he was gonna go on a rant that hard, like to call him a cone. It was funny, but it's
that was funny though. Like
whatever beef they had since he pushed Shorty, like that's clearly what that was. But it's like we not surprised, are we? Like,
right?
He always going at people. Like Pat don't lie about it. He not somebody like when you see him next, play him 1-on-1. Like put it on Instagram Live or something. Have everybody pay $1.99. Cause I love to see y'all play 1-on-1 now after y'all talk shit. Cause P Bev will play you 1-on-1 in his street clothes.
That would be crazy.
I love it though. But that's that dog that everybody don't understand. Miles be trying to figure out how dude's still in this. Cause he's sick. He don't care. He competing. He want it. If y'all want beef, y'all want whatever, cool. But I want to challenge you to do that. Because all you got to do, CP, all you got to do is win and everybody shut up. That's how it go. You know what I'm saying? So that's all. CP not even going to probably entertain none of this. He just going to think about what he got to do for next year. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's always been his motto, and that's what he need to do. But it's like, the closing games, he just going to have to kill. Like, I don't know. It ain't no other way to do it. Like, people always gonna have stuff to say. People used to tell me I couldn't say what I wanted to say because I was the role player. I'm like, gee, I ain't wake up and tell y'all to swing me over here and put me on Cleveland after I just been under Melo and y'all told me I couldn't shoot 20 shots over here. Now put me under Bron. That Bron came over here when Kyrie was already here, and now y'all added. I'm like, bro, I didn't keep telling y'all to do that. Like, but I conform to whatever. But I'm still feel like who I am. I would have said this if y'all made me the star of the team, the last guy on the team. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are how they are. So it's like, though it was whack, I see both sides. Like, I see Patrick Beverley saying, bro, I want the war with dude. And y'all gonna give me a platform? Y'all want to ask me something about Chris Paul? This is what I feel like. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he entitled to that. Like, I thought Matt Barnes had a dope quote about it when he was saying, like, man, I just feel like there's no room for that. And then he said, you know, we're role players. After this, nobody will talk about us. Like, I don't believe that. Like, to me, I don't agree with that. Like, me and Matt Barnes I usually do agree with everything he said, but it's like, bro, I don't agree with that. Like, there's no way y'all think I'm gonna be quiet about something later and y'all gonna be like, oh, he bitter, cause I ain't bitter. I'm gonna just tell you the truth. I had to guard every one of y'all that called y'all self a superstar. I had to guard everything. I'll tell you who could hoop and who can't hoop. I'm gonna tell you who's soft and who not soft. I'm gonna tell you who used the call and who didn't use the whistle. Like, I'm gonna tell you, bro. Like, that's how I am. So it's like, y'all ain't gonna sit here and be like, oh, Iman word don't mean nothing. Nah, because when I played on all y'all team, y'all ass was like, Iman, guard him. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's like, bro, I know it. It's just I didn't get to go back at him on the other end. But we all NBA players. Everybody's got that competitive attitude. You know what I'm saying?
Well, LeBron said that Luka is his favorite player right now.
Yeah.
I mean, would you say that Luka could be the next LeBron?
No. He cannot be.
Do you think he has the potential, though, to be?
He cannot be.
No?
No. He could be Luka.
I'm saying someone of that caliber.
No. Bro, LeBron is have y'all seen, the man 6'9", running that fast, jumping that high, can conform to that many different situations. Like, we can't even put that on Luka. Luka play a different style game. He's showing you great at a different... You know what I'm saying? If you saying, can he be the same star caliber? Like marketability or some shit?
No, I mean...
Or you saying like as good a player?
As good of a player.
No way.
Marketability, I don't care about. I'm talking about, can he get as many rings?
Now, marketability is different.
No, that's different.
He could. Now, if the NBA decide he bigger than LeBron, he gonna be bigger than LeBron. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm saying as far as, like Bron was also talking about when somebody step over half court with that ball, it's a little different with LeBron on a full head of steam than Luka. I ain't saying there's no disrespect to Luka. I'm just saying you can't ask Luka to grow more inches, make himself bigger. You know what I'm saying? Make himself jump higher. It's like how he is now is how he is now. How effective it is dope, but I don't think it's the same type of caliber pressure. You see what I'm saying? Now, I could be wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying what I'm saying, but at the look of it, you go back and look at LeBron at that age, bro. You got to go look at, like, you got to really go look at it, though.
No, I
Because
mean,
what's this, Luka, third year?
Yeah, he's still on his rookie contract.
But it's his third year.
Yeah.
Go look at LeBron in year 3. Just go check it out if you got time. Just check a quick clip of LeBron moving from end to end with the basketball, and you're going to see what I'm saying. It's just like, whoa. Even go watch Mike. Go back and look at Mike, year 3, and watch their movement, how they attacking all that. It's just like, nah. And I'm just saying the caliber player, it's the athleticism. You can't just throw that into him. That's what I'm saying. Like, he can get better with moves and everything, but also the league gets to watch these moves. So you got to keep adding them. Your footwork, it's just like, can you do the shit where it's like, we knew all your moves and then you just pull some random athletic shit. That's kind of what I'm suited to watching and watching the value of players. When you get to the NBA, everybody adjusts, defenses adjust, traps happen, do things to get the ball out of your hand, and your response to that is what makes you great. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see him having the athletic edge that I've seen LeBron's and Kobe's and Mike's have. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's usually your breaking point where it's like you can do some freakishly athletic stuff nobody can do about it. I just think after a while, somebody's going to stop the step back stuff. It's no way I could watch James Harden do that for that long and not win. And then look at Luka like, okay, you're going to step back with your right hand, but yours is going to work. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you could prove me wrong, but I don't see the same type of dominance of LeBron coming from Luka. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think LeBron sort of invested into his own body on a level that no one else really
Real
did.
talk.
You know what I'm saying? He took that shit more serious than anyone else. Doesn't he have like live-in trainers and stuff like that?
I don't know that. Wait, Bron, I ain't speaking on your life like that, bro. I don't
That's
know
what I heard.
You got to live in.
That's what I heard.
People say
Well, no,
you spend $1 million a year. It's all type of stuff floating out there. I don't know.
No, LeBron invests millions of dollars a year into his body that really no one else in the league has taken it to that level. His
personnel is unbelievable. His team, the way they run things, A1. You know what I'm saying? Like, I expect it. To do it for that long, to have been doing it for that long, to have known that you should have been investing in that for that long. That's the cool part about it. You know what I'm saying? The longevity of it, which, again, that's something also that factors into Luka, which they say he was playing pro so early. That's his, like, little niche. You know what I'm saying? Playing pro early. So maybe he understands that as well. I don't know if he got a team behind him, how LeBron does. That all comes into play, too. LeBron's also been fortunate to go around this league and not have nagging or major injuries that sat him down. I don't remember him having one.
Yeah. I mean, are you surprised that the Lakers didn't make the playoffs this year?
Yeah, but because AD didn't get healthy. I was more surprised AD never got healthy than them not making it without. I still kind of felt like Bron would sneak in just on the whole play-in and all. I just felt like somehow this is all going to work out and this man's still going to end up getting an AC. But, you know, without AD, it's tough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well,
you got your work cut out in the West trying to, you know what I'm saying, just walk in there without your, that's kind of why he over there.
Right, but there's also the elephant in the room with Russell Westbrook, who got $44 million.
I get it.
This year, he's getting $47 million.
Okay, but listen.
He's getting more than LeBron. You do know that, right?
AD is why Bron is there.
Okay.
It's not Russell Westbrook. That's not why he came there. Russell Westbrook was supposed to complement what they had going on. Russell Westbrook's contract is not his role on the Lakers. And that's what everybody got fucked up. What Russell Westbrook means to first of all, before Russell Westbrook came over there, we knew this is a LeBron AD situation. That's how this works. Everything Russ do is cake. You see what I'm saying? For real. Russ is just adding the broken play to y'all because Bron's getting older. He can smooth things out. Russ can get you that 8 to 10 points that wasn't supposed to be there. He gonna knock down a couple shots because his confidence is through the roof. it's like, why did everybody act like Russ wasn't gonna have a period of time where he got to get his rhythm with new guys? Like, he don't got the ball 80% of the time no more. Everything changed, and everybody was just like, it's Russ' fault. He getting $40 million. Like, it's like, bro, he didn't throw himself into this to get 20% touches, and now he got to be super efficient. His whole knock has been he's not efficient his whole career. He don't play on efficiency. He play on heart.
Well, I mean, he's athletic.
It
seems like he's been really getting by because of his major athleticism.
And now you got to deal with Bron and them, who they needed to play at a different pace.
Right.
Bron needs to control the pace, push when he wants to. Russ needs y'all to have as many broken plays. Seriously, though, that's uncomfortable for him. Like, a rebound happened and y'all got to deal with him coming full speed, and you got to look for Russ over your shoulder. You got to deal with him doing that. That's Russ' game. That's where he becomes a nightmare for you. Because now you're so nervous about that. You flatten out and he can get his shot going. He can play from the top. People had him playing from the wing now, and they talking about he keeps shooting it off the glass. I'm like, bro, he not even used to this. Like, it didn't make. I done shot my off the glass shot in the finals. I guess I shot it early and nobody had seen it before. But Boggs was like, you an NBA player, G? How you? I'm like, bro, everybody has hit the side of the glass before from the corner. It's just happened. You know what I'm saying? I think it was happening so much to him because after the first one, I think his mind got caught up in all the extra stuff. But I'm like, Russ, stop acting like you've never shot that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool, but it's just, I think your shots just changed a little bit. From the Lakers, it just, your shots changed and your usage changed. You know what I'm saying? But Russ didn't play like, they was acting like the man was playing off like, they were using like the most ditzy plays to show him too. Like, it's like all NBA players have the slip on the court turnover. You got the skip pass turnover where you kind of looked it, but you threw it off a little bit and it went way up and your teammate didn't even jump for it because it was too high. Like, everybody got those. They showed those. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's like, dog, y'all all saw Russell Westbrook have 6 turnovers before. I just want y'all to know. He had 31. But he had the 6 turnovers. I swear to God he did. And he had the 8 assists. And he had this. But he had the ball the whole game. I'm like, y'all have seen this before. But now you're taking away 15 points because Bron got the ball and the pace has slowed down, so it's not as many possessions. And that's okay. But we got to stop acting like we don't see the game. We can't look at the stat sheet at the end and be like, Russell Westbrook get 40. Like, come on. We watch the game, bro.
I mean, when you get $44 million, though, like
then
when you're getting that much, the
coach got to give me $44 million ball in my hand time.
And he didn't get that
at all.
Okay, fair enough.
At all. I'm just saying, I'm not his agent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they ain't paying me nothing. Ain't nobody paying me shit. You know what I'm saying? But if you want $44 million, Russ, give him the ball and run everything for us then. And make Bron stand in the corner and AD come off the what you call it. I can't even put him at the bench. Give him room. Have him just step off.
Well, I mean, Phil Jackson reportedly said that he thinks the Lakers should trade LeBron and keep Russell Westbrook. Agree or disagree?
I don't got nothing to do with what Phil Jackson got going on. Phil Jackson traded me, man. I don't know what you got going on, Phil. It's cool, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I sat in your tall chair wrong. I don't know what's to you, dude. I don't know what's to you, dude.
All right. What about James Harden this year? What's your take on it?
Again, my only issue, I damn near just don't like when I don't be there to yell. Like, when we was losing to Golden State, I yelled at James. Like, I really tried to, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't know if it was ever a bother for him that I did that, but it's like, bro, all that shit don't mean nothing if you can't, like, you just got to be able to tell your homie, now's the time you need to lose your mind. I don't care if you shoot it every time, bro. Just warn me before you do so I can go all out for the rebound. At this point, I ain't got no pride. I just don't want to lose to Golden State. Like, that's how I had my shit. Like, yeah, I was shooting it terrible all series. You got to that game, hey, bro, swing that bitch to me. I'll shoot that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just something about it. Or those big moments, you just want to feel like, you know, your guys inspired. And I feel like in those moments sometimes with everything going on, all the noise, I think a lot of times James is trying not to, it's more like please the audience than go get it how I know he could go get it. It's just like, I need you to just lose it and be yourself 100% in that moment. Like, all season, you could please them if you want to. But in these moments, if they got to call you a ball hog, whatever, like, just pull that shit out that you got. Like, and I feel like that's what, it was a little troublesome for him this go-round, because he didn't shoot as much in the second half. And
right. I mean, I
believe he had one field goal attempt until, like, late in the fourth.
Well, yeah, I mean, in Philly, he never really took more than 20 shots. And that's essentially his job.
Real talk. But it's the idea of, you tried to do that over here and it doesn't work, and you trying to add to your game and you got to think it through. But I'm saying, in those moments where you come down, you pass it, and then they pass it back to you, you kind of get a feel like they need me to put my cape on. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I think his cape on moments just, he gets more opportunities than anybody I know to put that cape on. And it's like, you got to put that cape on. Like, you know, one day he going to put it on, somebody going to have to deal with that shit. But it's like, that's what I felt watching the shit. I'm like, somebody need to curse him out right now, bro.
Well, I mean, he's still at the, I mean, do you think James Harden is still at the Supermax level that people say he's supposed to be at? Or, I mean, depending on how you look at it.
I mean, he older.
That's what I'm saying. A little heavier this year?
If y'all want to say that, it's James, bro. He's never been skinny. He was
a little heavy this year, remember? And he kind of was starting to work it off.
Oh, after the hamstring.
Yeah.
You can't do cardio on a hamstring, bro. It's like the one thing you can't do.
Right.
Y'all mad at the man for having a hamstring injury and then putting on some weight.
Hey, man. I mean, when you get into these price ranges, though, they expect you to be superhuman.
That's what I'm saying. We got to realize humans are humans, bro. They are
right.
humans. Like, he a human.
Yeah.
His hamstring was hurt. He can't do cardio. He's gonna gain a little weight, man. I know y'all see it. He got the fat boy traits. He got it.
His beard just hides it a little bit, you know what I mean?
Man. He might have a little build that might get a little pudgy. It's okay, man. The man was still able to get to his step back balance, not fall, not get hurt. Like, I think that being able to finish healthy and now get his body back right confirmed to me that he wasn't bullshitting. The man just hurt his hamstring. So rest was more important than the cardio. You see what I'm saying? If he had come back a little heavier, whatever, long as he been lifting, he should have been good. But yeah, James, it sucks, man. That ain't your fault, man. You know? He can't help it what happened when he eat a cheeseburger, man.
I mean, how did it feel? Because you know, originally you were on the Knicks.
Yeah.
And then you won your first championship with the Cavs.
Yeah.
But the Knicks, I looked it up. The last time they won a championship was the year I was born, 1973. Mm-hmm. To be on a team with Melo in the biggest market, and everything is supposed to line up the way it does, and it just doesn't happen year after year after year after year. I mean, was that just killing you when you were over there?
Initially, it didn't. I didn't have that. I didn't feel it. I was a Chicago kid. Like, I didn't feel that, like, oh, we've never seen a championship. I'm like, I seen 6 of them bitches. Like,
right, but you were on the team, though.
I know, but I'm saying as a city, like, the city of New York feels that. Like, the kids that grew up in Brooklyn and they grew up in Harlem and like downtown Manhattan, and their dad used to take them to every game. Like, they like, yo, I used to come, nigga, we got this close, and Patrick and this, and the layup, and it's just like, bro, all this stuff is just like, it's heartbreaking to them. And I'm like, bro, I was on the red side.
Right.
I'm like, we won. Like, we wasn't tripping. You know what I'm saying? There's no weight on us. Like, we don't have that weight. We just have that inspiration of what makes a grown man cry, a championship. That's what make a grown man cry. I don't know why these niggas is on the floor hugging this basketball like this and crying. They hugging hats. They got champagne all over them and biting the lid of them. They can't believe it. Like, they pouring it in their eyes. They can't see. Why are they this happy? We chasing that. You see what I'm saying? Everybody else dealing with the heartache. Like, we haven't experienced this. So I didn't feel it until we actually got to the playoffs and we lost, and I was pissed off. Like, oh no, we just lost to Paul George. And I'm like, man, bro, Woody, I told you don't take me out after I hit all them threes. Like, I'm dealing with that shit. I'm mad at Woody and shit. Should have just left me in there. I'm 22 years old. G, you could have left me. I could have played 58 minutes if I had to, dog. Fuck it. You should just left me in. That's what I'm dealing with. Everybody was like, you know, we ain't been to this and we ain't been to that. And then Phil comes and like, then you started to feel it. Cause it's like now Phil's here. So it's like, we supposed to win every game. And then it's like, I felt like the makeup of the team changed. Novak gone. It was just like Bargnani here. Like we just start changing everything. And Miles was like, why y'all not winning? Like, bro, our whole squad changed, bro. Like, what are y'all? We got a brand new coach, brand new GM, brand new this. I had like 5 coaches before I got to before I got a championship. But I had like 5 coaches, though, 2 teams.
I was saying that I was interviewing you today. Someone said, what did Kevin Garnett really tell Carmelo when Melo pulled up on him? Do you know?
I don't know the specific thing. I just know there was a suck my dick attached, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah, it was because I was actually hurt that game too. So I was floating in and out of going to the locker room, getting whatever treatment, rehabbed, and I come sit out there for a little bit in my suit, go in the back, do this, go back, you know what I'm saying, as the trainers was available. But yeah, I remember Elo being like cottonmouth mad, like he just wasn't letting it go, but it was like a grown, like, I don't know, it's just a grown man say something like that. It's just
yeah, I mean, something about suck my dick with certain people. I remember Fat Joe said that he would stab somebody right now.
What is it about the word suck my dick that gets people so riled up? I don't understand it.
But you say it, you know what I mean? You tell another man, suck my dick.
What does that even mean, though? That's like...
That means suck my dick. That means that it's a different type of thing, bro.
But that don't even sound appealing.
Probably
like, you know what I mean? Like
disrespectful shit they invented to say.
Like, yeah, he sucked my dick.
I mean,
give me a high five.
Not justified.
Okay.
Not justified in court. You know, you can't go to court and say, "Yo, he said suck my dick, so I killed him."
I just, it's some jail shit, right?
I'm gonna be honest with you. If somebody told me suck my dick right now in this hallway or something like that, I would stab him up or something right now. Like, I'm just being honest with you. I would really, really hurt this
Those
guy.
words are that serious to you.
Real talk. It's just something
today,
about
like
it.
I interviewed a few years ago. I mean,
It's just
this is not
something
old
about
Fat
it.
Joe.
Yeah.
New Fat, multimillionaire Fat Joe said he would stab someone.
It's triggering. Yeah, it's very triggering for some people. Like, especially like anybody that's got. Have you ever had family in jail or anything? Like somebody come out of like they take that serious. Like, so when you come out, like it could be, you know what I'm saying? It could be anything. I just remember it was something with that along the lines, like, cause that was a regular KG type. I remember his first time. The reason I dunked it, the reason why I called him a bitch when I get my dunk, when we played in Boston, I get a dunk. I go crazy. Everybody like, why you trying to go at Ticket like that? I'm like, dog, he just said he smelled pussy. What the fuck? What's up with dude? What's the buddy ass? Who y'all? That's Ticket. Nah, that ain't Ticket. Fuck is you talking? Nah, that ain't nobody saying that. What did you talking about? Next play out. Boom, bitch, who? You gotta tell they shut, calm down. Nigga just said he smelled pussy at the free throw line with me when I checked in. Like, he was just, but that mind game was easy for Ticket. Like, he could do that. Like, he probably don't even remember saying that to me. That's light to him.
I mean, who's the most vicious trash talker you've ever played against? The most vicious.
That'll just say the like wackiest things.
That really consistently would throw people off their game by the shit that it was.
Oh, Ticket.
Kevin Garnett.
For sure.
Right. For example, I interviewed Gary Payton recently, who was known for that. And he told me that there is someone way worse than him?
Who?
Larry Bird. Or you said that not only would he talk shit to you, but he would tell you what he's going to do to you on the court. He's like, I'm going to shoot this from here. Boom. Oh, now I'm going to I'm going to bust your ass here. Larry Bird, of all people, you would think. But he was the truth.
He was, let me tell you something. People always talk about great basketball players, and they don't never mention him to be up in that round when they made the Magics, the Jordans, the Kobe's and stuff like that. But Larry Bird was cold.
Oh, yeah, but they say Larry Bird is also, you got to deal with, he getting the ball whenever he want it.
Right. And the way Gary explained it is that not only would he trash talk to you,
He pick spots and do the shit.
he would tell you what he's about to do to you.
He
said, I'm
pick a
going to go over
spot.
here and get
I'm
this
gonna
three
go
on
right
you.
to this elbow. I'm going to shoot this 20-footer right in your face.
And then do it.
Bow.
And then tell you what he's going to do next.
Yeah.
And actually do it.
Tell
He
you
said it was so
tell
frustrating.
You a bitch, you can't do nothing about it. There ain't nothing you can do about it. They said all that shit is real. Yeah, they said all that shit is dead serious. They say he really liked that. But he's, even when we did my workout with the Pacers and shit, when he came around there, he don't even like hold back chirping. Like he'll tell you, yeah, you wouldn't do that shit. I wouldn't let you do that shit. Not even one bit. Yeah, you know he country as hell, shit. So he gonna say that. He gonna say that and he mean it. Like it was like the first time Kobe told me, he was like, people always tell you, don't put all your eggs in one basket. But what if you could just make some more eggs? And people was laughing and he was like,
I'm serious.
I'm dead. He like, dog, I just gave y'all the key to life. Put all them eggs in one basket and then go get some more eggs. That shit is crazy. Huh? That threw you off with your blow there.
I mean, you talked about that. I think it was on a Hot 97 interview where when you played Kobe at the Garden, I guess you stole the ball from him that one time. And he was like,
one time. You ain't watched the game. See,
a few times.
A couple times.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he was like, you had a great game with 12 minutes left.
Yeah, he checked in.
And just went to
like,
work.
You had a great game, young fella. Same thing. Boy, no. I'm really owe you now. He was, I don't know. You know what's crazy too? I remember watching the game while I was, like, during the game, I felt like he was doing it to me. And then when I went back and watched, he only hit another like 2 buckets on me. He just started, I like pissed him off and he killed our whole team. If you go look, there's a different person guarding him after every possession. He washed everybody. He pulled a tray from like 30 on me. Then he come down, throw it off the glass on Shorty and them, split they double team. I believe Bill Walker was out there with us. He split the double team off the glass, threw it to Powell in the corner. It was bad. Oh, it was bad.
I mean, did you hear the story about him and Jordan?
What story?
The one where when they played each other and Jordan won. And then, you know, at the end, Jordan like smacked him in the ass and said, you can wear my shoes, but you can't fill them.
That's crazy.
And then I remember Gilbert Arenas told the story, right? And he was saying for the next 2 weeks, Kobe did not talk to anybody. You know, Jordan won. And then at the end of the game, I guess Kobe was wearing some Jordan 8s. And, you know, Jordan smacked him on the butt and said, you can wear the shoes, but you'll never fill them.
Yeah.
And then what happened next?
Okay. What happened next? So what happened next is, so I guess during that time after Kobe didn't say anything to anybody. So for like 2 weeks, they said Kobe was just mute. Like he didn't talk to his players, didn't talk to his teammates. He said he was in like focus mode. Like it was straight, like practice was just so intense.
Literally, he would go to practice and just be silent. Everyone's like, what's wrong? It's like, that Jordan comment. Like it really got to him. And the next time they played, he just demolished Jordan.
He just went crazy.
Just went insane on him. Just went crazy.
Yeah, his focus used to be crazy. Like, it's dope to see that shit. He just mean it. Some people say shit and they mean that shit.
I mean, would you say out of everyone you played that was the best player you ever played on the court?
No.
No? It wasn't Kobe. Who would it be?
The best player that I've played.
The best player that you've actually played
is
on the
LeBron.
court. LeBron.
And Now, when I pick greats and I do my list of who's better, and I usually like have like this thing of, I tell you, like once you get to the top of the top, you're really just picking in your opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's really you're in your opinion and what you like to see. As far as somebody that can do everything, like every statistic that you got, he can do. And if you really go back and look at it, you can say he can't shoot and do that. And then you look at actual numbers and your argument's not so supported. I go back and look at clutch moments. I go back and look at all that. The most things you can say about dude is in the clutch, he's folded a few times, but he puts himself in enough positions to correct that later on. So it's like, if I got to call a spade, I haven't had to deal with anything else like that on a back. Going back like that, like the most skilled offensive player I've had to deal with, cool, Kevin Durant. I've never got a rebound, came down, seen him. Like you got an issue if Bron really want to guard you. Like if you want to go all out for a possession, you got a real issue on your hands. He can literally do everything. He can guard your center. He can guard your point guard. He can deal with 1 through 5. He can play 1 through 5. He's going to know where everybody is on the court. He's going to know every coach's schemes. You know what I'm saying? That all got to account for something. So pound for pound, yeah, you got to say it's shorty.
I mean, you said LeBron ruined basketball when he left the Cavs and joined Miami in 2010.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I mean, in the like, if you watch the conversation, like, of course, I know y'all chop it to where y'all could release it, how y'all release it, but the conversation was the statement was that Kevin Durant ruined it when he went to Golden State. And I was saying, well, technically, no. Bron ruined it when he left Cleveland and went to Miami and joined forces with Dwayne Wade. Because we was all like, that was the first time I had ever looked at something like, whoa, that's cheating. I believe the other time it was like LeBron was I believe CP was supposed to join Kobe. And we was like, whoa, that is cheating. Even David Stern was like, yeah, we're going to have to rip that up. Sorry, guys. That's what we thought was going to happen. And Bron went over there and everybody was like, this is cool? Like, everybody cool with this? And then it was like, after that, you got to deal with it. But now that opens up the mind of somebody like KD, who KD's tweeted before that he would never do something like that.
And he and then end up doing it.
Yeah. But one of the greats just did it.
Well, yeah. I mean,
and now you got to compete with it.
Right.
You got to compete with the team up shit. Is what I'm saying. Like I can't say no more. KD, just sit over here in this small market and. Cause it's like, no, you ain't finna beat. Yeah, you not finna beat no Miami where it's cracking at, and they got all them superstars over there. Mm-hmm. Like, quiet as kept. They got to be happy that Chris Bosh had to sit it down because they would have had to deal with dude. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got. I think the clip it did what they needed it to do, but I still stand on that. Like. If Bron doesn't leave and go over there, it's a lot of things people would have never did because everybody used to be like, you don't do that. That was just the mindset of it. It's like what I said about Steph and them. It's like, bro, I'm no longer in that mindset that's so small where I'm just like, we shouldn't be shooting threes. I can't say that no more. This has been consistent and now it's opened up to where everybody can shoot better. Now, you look around the league, jump shots are everywhere. It's so many people you can't leave now. You know what I'm saying? And you think about it, if Steph and them don't win shooting threes, do you think it'd be all these shooters? No, the NBA would be shaped with more people that can attack, people that could fly and do that. Because that's what, you know what I'm saying? Now the NBA don't even care if people dunk sometimes. We don't even care. No one cares. People be unimpressed with some of the dunks that get done in the dunk contest.
Well, let's switch gears for a second.
That's how crazy, that's how wicked the jump shot just got. If y'all haven't noticed that. They would rather you shoot from half court than see the dunk contest now. People be going through the legs off the side of the glass, reverse behind their head. Might be like, it just wasn't nothing this year. Like, what, bro? But it's crazy to think that, though. But that's how they transform the game. That's what I was saying. It's like, it's a preference.
Well, let's switch gears for a sec. Mm-hmm. Dancing with the Stars. Mm-hmm. You were Well, how many NBA players have actually joined Dancing with the Stars before you showed up? Were you the first one or no?
Got to be like 10.
10. Okay.
Something like
I don't really watch the show very carefully, so
Yeah.
pardon my ignorance.
No, it's cool.
But you were the first one to actually win it.
Yeah.
I mean, when they asked you to join, were you like,
No.
you used to said no? I mean, let me ask you a question. I mean, were you like a hip hop kid growing up in terms of break dancing and like a dancer going to clubs, that type of?
You know what's crazy? I was telling my wife, me and my wife had a conversation a while ago. Cause she was like, you ain't never seen this. You didn't watch TRL and it's like, as much as I loved hip hop and rap, I never watched nothing about nobody's act. Like I didn't see the videos people saw, the street mixtape tapes that the VHS joints where they had like day in the life stuff and doing, like I never saw any of that stuff. All of tapes I had was Jordan tapes, basketball lists, Penny Hardaway this, Jason Kidd that. I'll never forget when I got dubbed over, this coach had got me some like Jason Kidd footage from UCLA to watch when I was in high school. It was like, I don't know.
He went to Berkeley.
Oh, my bad. I was like, what is he saying to me? I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I'm like,
oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah. I got his college mixtape. My bad, J Kidd. I got his college mixtape. I was watching shit like that. Like my dad would be like, yo, you gotta watch this Bob Cousy thing on ESPN Classic. And I'd be sitting there like, bro, why am I watching Bob Cousy? But I knew this shit forward and back. And I knew dribble patterns. I knew rhythms. I knew guys' spots and what they like to get to. But it was like, dog, I don't know shit about no hip hop history. Like I didn't start getting that until later on, where it's like, damn, I'm now reading this and doing that. Like people be like, you ain't never heard of this person, woo woo, and I'll be like, no. And then you'll play the record and I'll be singing the words naturally. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, damn, I never knew who that was. Like, I didn't know who that was. They're like, you just met her. Like, I was like, what? Who? They're like, the girl that sings that. They're like, you just sang that song to the top of your lungs. And I'm like, bro, it didn't even come with a face. Like, that's how music was for me. Everything was just the background of a basketball highlight tape. You know what I'm saying?
right. Okay. So now you get asked to do Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
And you say no.
No, sir.
How did they convince you? Was it the money?
No, my mama was like a huge fan of Dancing with the Stars. And I had no clue.
Yeah. Like I have no clue.
Again, 4 boys. We up under my dad. We watching ESPN, all that other stuff. What my mom watches when she closes the door, I'll never know. But she used to close the door because she used to be like, we nasty and we loud and do too much after work and shit. So it's like, I don't know what she in there watching, but she's been apparently watching Dancing with the Stars for years. I had no clue.
Okay. So then you start and they match you up with a professional dancer.
DJ.
And did you take to it like right away or were you kind of like?
I was, so when we first walked in that day, DJ's like, we had to do, of course, you got to do like the media thing or like, oh, I'll walk in and like you're surprised or whatever. Like, cause so they're like, you can't meet her. So it's like, I don't get to meet her. We got to get my natural reaction walking in. So I'm like, all right, dog. So they was like, the drum roll was already like super crazy where I was kind of nervous before we walked in. But then we walk in and DJ is like super cool. Like she didn't know much about basketball or anything I had going on, which made it even better because every comment was genuine. Like, any question was genuine and not a lot of making me tap into that. You know what I'm saying? She kept it more about whatever we had to do. I'd say after the second practice, I was like, you know what? We're going to be friends. Because she just got it. She's like, yeah, go take a break or something. Or she'll be like, yeah, that's not it. And then she'll be like, all right, we're going to practice to, who are you listening to right now? At the time, I was like obsessed with Baby Keem's album. So she would just play something of that tempo or take a Baby Keem song and speed the tempo up or down to match so that I could do the steps because I would like the song. So I would get the steps, and once I had the rhythm, she'd flip it back and we go back to what we had to practice. But the way she was understanding of me and saying, he has no ballroom background to do anything like this. So the only way I could get him to do that is if he loves every song. Like, she's like, all right, cool, got that. You know what I'm saying? Let's cut down the practices because he's a basketball player. She's like, he'll get the steps and the footwork as long as he likes the song and he knows the meat and potatoes. If he does this for 2-3 days, by this day, she had it like mapped out to where I didn't feel like I was practicing a lot. I felt like I was laughing all the time. Like, whoever paired Dancing with the Stars up, that was pretty good picking DJ. Well, her name's Daniela, but I call her DJ.
I mean, but your wife, Tiana, she is a dancer.
Yeah, but my wife get it out the mud. It's a little different. It's a little different, bro.
A different type of dancing.
Yeah, that's a different level of passion and what creativity that I ain't got going on. I don't need none of that on my head. We don't need none of that comparison. Like, even some of the stuff that she'll be like, babe, you can't do that. It's just like Tiana.
I mean, was she like trying to teach you moves like back in the house?
It's the level of move that she can do off of, okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can have a routine that I've worked on the whole week. She can get that. And
just like that.
That take her 20 seconds. So you can look at it, and she'll do it while she's adding, all right, well, I feel like right here when y'all do the ooh, you could, and I'll be like, T, it took forever to get that. Like, you can't, I got a show in 2 days. You can't add that. I ain't got that in my repertoire yet, and I need to focus on the feet. But Tiana, I think what makes it cool, Tiana has taught me throughout the years through how to give a performance. Amazing artist, incredible performer. You know what I'm saying? Like, her ability to feel out a crowd, understand pockets of time, understand when to let the band keep going, adjust on the fly while hearing it in your headphone. Like, she's big on performance, looking at the crowd, how to feel for the crowd, how to have comedic breaks. So with her, she's just like, when you're doing this dance, whatever you're doing, make me believe it. Like, that was her main thing to me. Like, you need to believe it in your face. You need to have fun. You need to enjoy it. And the crowd needs to feel that, because that'll help you win. She like, you not finna out ballroom them. Like, you can't do it. You can't even wear it on your face. You know what I'm saying? So your thing is to show the bridge between the real you and where you coming from, and bridging that gap. You know what I'm saying? That it's like you could step in the ballroom world too. And I think that's what was cool about it. I think Dancing with the Stars also shot it in a way that, you know, you more fall in love with that story and you're rooting for me, whether I did that move good or not. You know what I'm saying? It's just, toward the end, I know I was doing the moves right. I ain't gonna lie, a lot of practice. I know I was doing that shit right at the end.
Well, you ended up winning.
Yeah.
I mean, were you surprised?
I'm saying like the first week, I understood the judges' sixes that I was getting. I was getting like 4s and 6s the first week. Like, it wasn't looking good for me. But the crowd kept voting for me. So it was like, it don't matter that his scores were awful this week. It doesn't matter because the crowd liked the dance. You know what I'm saying? The combination of the choreography and just my excitement, and you could tell like, oh, he's just like, you know, for lack of anything, it's like this little black dude from Chicago that he don't know shit from shit. Like, he don't know what's going on. He just having a good time out there. And I felt like a lot of people felt like that's me if I was on Dancing with the Stars. Like, Iman probably in the back drinking, having a good time. He don't know what's going on. He just like, whatever, let's do it. Like that, and I felt like that's what people just saw themselves in me in a way, and I felt like that was special for how they shot that. I appreciated it.
I mean, when they finally announced at the end that you won the whole thing,
I started laughing, G. I messed up their whole camera shot. I bent over. They had nothing but my ass on the screen. Shorty, I bent over laughing like, oh. I bent over because I was like, that's crazy. I never thought, like, I was like, damn, they gonna get me to the end and use these views or something. But I think it was just that September, boy, we turned on that Earth, Wind, and Fire. It was just, man, it's hard to beat that, man.
And you guys went on tour?
Busted. Yeah,
like
they convinced me to do a tour. DJ did. She convinced me to do it. They called and asked me to do it like 4 or 5 times. I said, no, don't want to do it. Not interested. We won. It was a great time. Cool. Kept going. They kept asking, what if we did this? What if we did this? What if we did this? DJ calls me and she's like, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, are you coming on this tour or not? I'm not going to keep getting phone calls about this. Are you going on this tour? I'm like, TJ, I'm like, is it going to be dope? It's going to be a great tour if you come on the tour, Iman. Are you going on the tour? Everybody's calling us now. And I was just like, after a while, I was like, I'll go on the tour. I ain't got shit to do, to tell y'all the truth.
There was a bunch of dates. I mean, I don't know if you did all of them.
Yeah, it was kind of, for me, my thing was like, bro, while I'm training, bro, I kind of don't want to stop to go on tour. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's like, yeah, I'm going to be doing weight training, but I'm going to be doing something different. Low key, it was actually good on my knees, though, because with the dance and stuff, I had to do like contemporary every night. And with doing that, it forced me to do a lot more stuff that focuses on balance. And, you know, with my knee situation, it's good to have those workouts. But I'm like, bro, this isn't really helping me. And if I get that call, like, oh, playoffs, let's get it, shorty. Like, I'm like, I want to be ready. But I end up having a little epiphany and just saying, man, I'm going to just roll with this. We won. I'm going to go with it, say yes, and then, prep myself in the summer. And if I have a contract going into the season, then so be it. If not, again, I'll take on other jobs. You know what I'm saying? My thing has always been, am I ready for the season? And my body healthy? Like, I can't jump into anything. Just be like, oh, yeah, I just hopped off the bus with Dancing with the Stars. Now I'm finna play pro. Like, nah, bro. It'll tear something up immediately.
Well, the rumor is that you're going to join the Big Three. That's the rumor.
Cool. That's cool.
Care to comment on it?
I mean, I had talked to them. They wanted me to do it, but I kept an honest conversation with them that it was like, bro, I mean, we could take a look at it, but I'm trying to play in the league. I'm like,
right. I mean, you seem a little young for the Big Three.
It ain't
like
even about it being
players.
young. It's just a.
'Cause you're what, 31 now?
Yeah, I'm 31. I'll be 32.
That's what I'm saying. Usually the Big Three dudes are like in their 40s. Like,
yeah, I think they just think I'm to the point where I'm just like not touching the ball and I'm just like on some, I'm going to show up and just play for fun type of vibe thing. But I'm just like, nah, I don't really know how to do that yet. Like, don't get me wrong, eventually we'll get there. Like, and I thought about doing it just like, they like, bro, even if you want to come and play super hard, bro, you could birth an NBA contract. And it, I don't know.
I mean, does that actually happen? Do people play in the Big Three and then go back to the NBA?
Nah.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Nah, it don't really happen. Joe Johnson did it, but it's like, nah. Yeah, it just, but it's not even, it's no disrespect to nobody doing nothing in the Big Three or nothing. It's just like, I feel a certain way. Where it's like, bro, I'm 32 years old now. Well, I will be. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, like I got a lot of basketball I want to play. And it's like, I can't have nobody mad at me that it's like, I want to get whatever I could get in left out before I just go to the Big Three where it's like we not taking it as serious. Because I'll be mad as fuck if I fuck the leg up or something playing Big Three and it's like, ain't no road to the league now, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'd be mad as shit. Because it's like the last time not going to the league, it wasn't just because I couldn't get a look. It was that I had the issue with the whole 10-day thing. I felt like it was like y'all keep doing this 10-day thing. And I'm like, what am I going to show you in 10 days unless you're going to give me the ball every time? Like, y'all got me standing in the corner. Like, I'm like, y'all know what we got to do. Either y'all want me here for the playoff run to where we can do something, or it don't make no sense to keep flying halfway across the country and my kids just don't see me. So I could be like, oh, I'm just hoping for a shot. It's like, we trying to win or what we trying to do? And yeah, that's where it's at. So,
well, last season on The Chi, was that your first acting role, or were you acting before?
I believe my second.
Your second was your first.
I don't know what came first, whether it was the 20s or The Chi, but one of the two. Both of them Lena Waithe show.
Okay, The Chi is one of my favorite shows, by the way.
Oh, it's a vibe.
You know, shout out to my man Jason Weaver.
Yes, sir.
Who's on it.
Yes, sir.
And you're basically, the season ended with you cheating with Tiffany.
Oh yeah, Tiff cheating.
Well, yeah, I guess she was cheating. Yeah, you weren't cheating. You're single at the time.
You're just a player.
You're just a player, right?
Yeah, Rob a player.
Well, but you know that she's.
Oh yeah, she's doing Emmett dirty.
She's doing Emmett dirty.
Yeah.
Right. So I assume that storyline is going to be extended into this season.
Gotta watch the show.
Gotta watch the show. But you're in the show this season.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to mess up your non-disclosure agreement or whatever.
Honestly, they put the teaser out, so you see it. You see me hanging out with them more. Like
there you go.
But yeah, I'm in the show.
Okay. I mean, when you look at the acting, is this something that you really want to take seriously and really keep pursuing, or is it just like, hey, I got an opportunity, I'm gonna do it, but really I'm focused on basketball still?
It's an opportunity. I think it's all my life I've been saying no to stuff. It's like even when my wife taking on acting roles, like at first I used to be upset about that. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand the craft. Like,
I mean, upset about what?
She gonna portray love. Like if you got to portray love, I'm like, what is that? Like what are you doing that for? I'm like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like I would look like, what are we portraying? Like why are you even asking for that role? Why would they ask you for that role knowing you live with me? Like why?
So it was like a jealousy thing a little bit?
Not a jealousy thing. Oh, why are you doing that?
Well, because she's an actress. I mean, it's her job.
See, that's what I'm saying. You used to actresses and shit. I had never dealt with no actors. Like, what you mean? I'm like, I got the money. That's how I felt though.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was my mental space about it. So it's like when I got offered the opportunity, I was like, I don't have the NBA job right now. I'm waiting. I'm like, I might as well try it. Then I really was just trying to try acting and be on a set. Like I hadn't really ever been on a set or anything. And then it was like, they saw me do this and now they was trying to make me a love interest and shit. So it was like, it was cool to see how they do it and to see that there's 20 people in the room. And to see like, you know, how it happens and what they do and how the writers will just come in there and just be like, oh yeah, y'all are kissing today and you're doing this and you're doing this and your hands
she gets to see it in reverse now. Huh? the shit that you were questioning her about, now she's getting she's now getting to see you.
That's what I'm saying. Tiana set up the role. See, Lena Waithe is shooting it. So Lena told me and then told Tiana. So Tiana kind of knew my whole role. So this isn't like a thing where it was like, oh, you doing this, I'm finna go around. It wasn't like that. She like, dog, this how it is. Like, you should do it. You always asking me all these, like, see it. Like, actually go experience this shit. Plus, she was like, I think you be good at it. You always doing impersonations of people. Like, it's funny, like, but you should try it. Like, she like, you need to try and learn how to make yourself cry. Like, try this stuff. Like, Tiana's big on, like, nah, go get that too. Like, try this too. I'm not going to stop trying stuff. Like, that's how she look at stuff. So it's like, we kind of just roll like that. But it was cool. And I'm like glad that I had Hannah Hall. Like Hannah's very like super professional, super down to earth. She could tell in certain moments it was like super awkward for me, but she like, gee, trust me, like laugh it off. Like she like, I gotta be a hoe the whole show. She like, I've been a hoe.
I gotta be a hoe.
She like, I've been to kiss. She like, I hope I don't have to kiss somebody right before I gotta kiss you on the show. You get what I'm saying? She like, that's how Tiff life has been. Before you got here.
Because she was with that D-boy dude in the
That's
last
what she
season,
was basically explaining. She like, you
was like, I don't want to stop cheating. I want to have other guys.
She like, I just want to go on one date with one guy like it.
Evan was like, why do you want to have sex with other guys?
But it's like, that's the type of thing that I was like, damn, I never thought about it like that. Like, what about if a girl's just on the show and it's like she in her mind thinks she's playing the girl at the candy store until everybody sees the show. And now she's got to sleep with half the cast just because this is great for TV. I'm like, it could also be a vulnerable thing where it's like, I don't want to have to do this, but this is my job now and this is my character route. Like,
I mean, out of all the female players you've ever seen, has there ever been a female player that you feel could have joined the NBA? No. Not the Lisa Leslies, not no one. Is it just because they're just physically?
It's the physicals. Yeah, it's too. Don't get me wrong, they could probably play. I just don't think it's going to translate much. I don't think they could be on the team. You know what I'm saying? Especially in now's game. If they played, it would take the, like say somebody got on the team. I will say this. If one of the females got on the team and they kept her for 4 years, she'd be ready.
Okay.
It's like the shit that you're saying with Gilbert. Like you need that adjustment period to adjust to how.
What about the flip side? Let's just say
a basketball.
Let's just say no. Okay, hold on. Okay, and I'm joking here, but let's just say Kevin Durant put on a wig and said, "I want to play for the WNBA."
Joanna, man.
What? I mean,
they gonna make
it would be 100.
Man, make the movie. Kevin Durant, Joanna Man Part 2. Make the movie, and it'll show you exactly what happened, boy. Oh, party time. And y'all give him a little rock so he can shoot it from Arkansas. Y'all give him a little rock. He gonna let it slide. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
But
You just can't ask a female to launch herself into 7 feet. No matter if you put on a wig or, you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, dog, you already got the physical capabilities to do this. You know what I'm saying? That the whole Joanna Man shit is crazy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I get it that people probably like, we would love to see a girl playing there. And don't get me wrong, I would love for a girl. Like, there are girls now that are like 8th grade dunking and stuff. But it's like, you have to let them play against the boys right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If you let them play against the boys in high school and then in college, we'll know who can make it to the NBA. But you can't ask them to go from playing girls to just playing us. Like, It just not going to translate. They haven't dealt with that. They're not even going to deal with that hand check well. Like, they gonna feel like everything a foul, like, you know what I'm saying? And we feel like it's soft now, but they gonna feel like this is a foul. Like, you putting your forearm in me, and it's like, bro, you can't even hit them. Like, I'll be bad if I accidentally hit them in the chest, because that's gonna hurt like shit. Like, we ain't gotta worry about nothing but here. We done already made that adjustment. We have not made the adjustment of don't hit them in their chest. We'd have to make that adjustment.
Well, technically you shouldn't, because if everyone's on the court together, you can't say
I'm
for the girls on the court there's different rules than the guys.
We're all humans. We're all humans. We're not going to hit them in the chest and they go like this. You think everybody ain't going to stop like, shorty, you good? Mama, you good? We definitely going to stop, man. We still gentlemen. We got wives, kids. Like, we still gentlemen.
Y'all still want to win, though.
We definitely gonna bust that ass.
Ain't no one winning, losing the finals.
Euro. We gonna do all that. But it's like they can hoop. It ain't like we ain't never hoop with girls in the summer and shit. But it's like you gonna ask them to play with a different basketball.
Right. I mean, if they focus more on the threes, you know, if they had more of a Steph Curry.
I'm just saying, you got to give them that early, though.
Right.
If you let them play since high school, I could totally see it. But since you make them play with all women, the game's not going to evolve.
Yeah, they have a different game. Well, with the rap, from what I understand, Tiana Taylor actually thought that you rapping was weird early on.
She just saw like, because she thought I rap like, oh, social event, he's going to rap off top of his head. But she was like, bro, you got a hard drive full of songs? She like, you do hooks? She like, you write? I'm like, yeah, I went to school for it. So it was like, it just kind of threw her off a little bit. Because she was like, you like really go to the studio, like you got a 6-hour session. She's like, what the fuck? I thought you played basketball, dude. You get out of the gym and go to the studio. You take your game ready to the studio.
Right,
like,
that's her job.
Yeah. But she's also like, bro, I don't even feel like doing this 6-hour block tonight because I had to do all this stuff. She's like, I have to do this because this is my job. But she's like, it's crazy that your job takes more time than my job, and then you do this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She's like, you should be asleep right now. And I'll be like, you know, sometimes I'll take a nap, and I'll be up anyway at the crib, just game ready, and so why not be in the studio? I sit down recording. I don't even stand up.
Okay. And
I think it comes from that, bro. When I tore my leg up, I recorded like everything sitting down and then just never stood up in the studio ever again.
Well, I mean, the stuff you released was, what, 5-6 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess there were some problems with the NBA or with some of your sponsors, I guess.
It was just every meeting that I had prior to drop, because before you drop something, you got to let people know what's going on. That's the only way to get people promoted, cross-promoted.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I was getting ready to drop something, it was like, whatever team I'm playing for, there's always somebody that's like, you know, this is a little much, huh? And then we got to do this, and you got the kids, and you got to think about this, and you got to think about that. And I'd take the album back, and then I'd change it, and, you know, then I was like, I don't want to put the album out because it's not me. I got to make a mixtape now with, like, the songs that are acceptable. And I got to change these lines so we not touching on something that's too sensitive, or, you know, we don't want this to be I don't want to, like, real talk, like, even having an interview like this, it was like, bro, normally I wouldn't touch on a lot of stuff. I'd be like, bro, I don't want to touch on that because I don't want people feeling like, oh, but it's like at the end of the day, bro, I'm pretty sure people can see now I'm a solid human being, bro. I'm not out here against any one person or do like I really see situations as they come. I process. I'm just down with picking a side. I've never been the like, I'm gonna keep the peace with everybody. Like I'll tell you like, hey G, I either like that or I don't. Like either stop doing that or carry on. I'm gonna leave. Like, but I make a decision pretty quick, and that's what I like to do.
I mean, when you look at hip hop and NBA players, I mean, the most successful one was Shaq. He's the one that actually went platinum, I think, twice and went gold once, I think.
Yeah.
I remember me and him did a mixtape together back in the day when I was still a mixtape DJ. That's when he actually dissed Kobe on our mixtape, right when he got traded.
What, to tell me how your ass tastes? Hey, Kobe,
I think so. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was right around that time. But he was actually successful, but he had very sort of clean kind of lyrics.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Thing.
He wasn't shooting anyone. He wasn't.
But that's what I'm saying. I think I don't think they ever dug in. Like, I'm sure if Shaq really made an album about what really happened and how he really got there, I'm sure we'd probably hear some wild shit.
Yeah, but Shaq never really lived that type of life, though. He was pretty much basketball. I mean, he was just a freak of nature from birth, damn near. I mean, he was just basketball.
So you think nothing goes on in that time period? With
basketball.
Basketball will raise you, boy.
I think he was pretty...
Hey, if you playing basketball, I want you to think about something. If you play basketball, you're outside.
Right.
If you play basketball, you walk around.
Okay.
If you walk around, you got a bag. Mm-hmm. If you got a bag, people are fucking with you.
But when you're 7 feet at like 13 years old, people are kind of leaving you. Well, but I'm saying he was always abnormally huge the whole time.
And that's even scarier because that means every day of your life, motherfucker is not finna fight you. We gonna shoot your big ass.
Okay.
I'm just saying the mindset of it, if told correctly, way more people know that story than guns.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen, we talked about this before the interview.
True or false? That's nigga, I never would have ever thought about having a gun. Basketball is the only reason I even own a gun.
Okay. We talked about this before the interview. Allen Iverson at one point started doing hip hop songs.
Yeah, they wasn't ready for that.
And the NBA, not even the sponsors, the NBA heard it and said, cut it out. Yeah. If you're going to do this, you're not going to be in the league. And he ended up scrapping everything. But he was talking about shooting people and everything else like that. Like he actually had grimy hip hop lyrics.
I mean, it's like so what's crazy is like, if he paints that on a painting, it's cool though.
But if he raps about it, it's not.
That's fucking whack.
Right, because people like to equate hip hop with more reality based
I think people forget that music is not about us telling y'all this story to get an army of people to go shoot somebody. No. And I guarantee Allen Iverson didn't have a line about shooting somebody.
I think he actually did. I think that's the whole point. I think that's the point of him.
I've gone back and listened to a lot of that stuff on YouTube, and even though people were saying that, he talks about gangster stuff happening. He talks about liquor.
Maybe he himself not talking about
weed, but it's like, but I'm saying it damn near made it like, because when they present it, they try and make him sound stupid. This is what I'm getting at. Motherfuckers tried to make it seem like that was stupid. Why would he talk about killing people?
I don't think it was stupid at all. I think that he was making the kind of music that he listened to and the type of people he hung around, and I think it was authentic to him.
I'm saying that's damn near saying he snitched on himself, saying that he killed somebody, and that's why the league just. I'm just telling you how you just set it up, Vlad. I'm gonna keep it a bean with you.
I don't think I set it up that way. I think that. I mean, listen, I've been a hip hop kid since
I get it, but I'm saying he wasn't kicking it like that. If you go and listen to that shit, sometimes he was just telling his environment.
Right.
And it's like, bro, it's a lot of kids that got to the league in that same environment. I know kids that been in fucked up environments their whole life that have lied about where they live at so that they can hoop on a certain team.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? It's moms staying with their grandma right now. They don't even live over there in that suburb, that town, wherever they live at. They ain't living over there. They take a bus, a train, uncle drop them off, something like that, just so that they could play ball over there. So I'm saying, like, him telling that story, it helped a lot of kids, bro. Like, whether people be ready for that or not. And I think that's what we get into now in this older time. That's what I feel like is cool and we get into, which is why Allen Iverson's still getting his homage now. Cause it's like, bro, if we go back, I really need to go back. I don't think I got nobody with the actual, how many songs was on it? You don't even remember, huh?
I don't remember. But I mean, listen, this is no disrespect to Allen Iverson because listen, if it was me, I'd let him do whatever the hell he wants. And really, Allen, I felt like really changed the aesthetic of the NBA. Yeah. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, I think it was because of him and the way he dressed that they started. Well, they started like, the dress code. Exactly. Where everyone had to wear a suit when they're on the sidelines. So you saw dudes with red and blue and pink suits, all pimped out, but they were wearing suits. Yeah. But it was because he was showing up in the baggy, shorts with the long white tees with the jewelry and everything else like that.
On the sideline.
Exactly.
But it was
that was never done before.
It was swaggy.
We all loved it.
Yeah, at the time.
We all loved it.
He pulling it. Like, he just pulling it. Like,
yeah. And they literally did a dress code because of him.
He was scoring 40, so they couldn't really do much about it. But it's like, I don't know. As I look at hip hop done the way it's done, like, I feel like Shaq played that game. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's cool, but I would never play the game. That's not hip hop to me. That didn't help me growing up. Me growing up, it don't help me for y'all to lie to me about y'all life, bro. That don't help me. What helps me being a little kid is hearing this shit, not understanding it, and then trying to comprehend it and feeling like, oh shit, that lyric I heard when I was 12 just smacked me in the face at 16. And now it's a story for me. That's hip hop for me. Hearing a motherfucking song and finally being in a time like, yes, I'm supposed to be listening to Reasonable Doubt right now. I'm supposed to be. I'm finally of age, my nigga. I finally own something and understand everything he talking about. I got a car that's fast enough to hydroplane. I could do $140. I didn't know what he was. I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. I'm doing $140 hydroplane. I'm like, what? I know the lyric. I don't know what you're doing. I have no clue. I'm just reading on it, but I've never done it. I've never experienced it. And it's like, after you experience it, that's hip hop. When you can make that connection. This is what I was singing when I was 8, and I ain't know. I know everybody was talking about the thing where they was talking about rain down on me, and they had the TikTok where they were saying like this. He was today's years old when he figured out that what they was really talking about when talking about a girl coming. Like, yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna, but yeah. Anyway, like you hear that song, and later on you finally, but it's like that is the connection for me. That's dope. It's like, dog, as a kid, you was singing that. Your mama was letting you sing it. Everybody letting you sing it. When that's what it's really about. It's just, that's music. Can it be so universally common that everybody can sing along with it without everybody interpreting it the same? You know what I'm saying? That's the cool thing. That's what I'm getting to in my music.
Right. And you have a new project coming out.
Yes, sir.
I heard most of it, I think. Half of it? Half of it.
Yeah. It's a hip hop album, so it's not really you gotta like rapping. Like, it's not like those projects that are like the super spacey, eerie.
Yeah.
With the
auto-tune. Not a bunch of auto-tune.
Yeah, but it's like, I kind of like those albums in entirety because when you turn it on, you do feel like you enter this other world.
Yeah, like a Playboy Cardi or someone
type shit.
Yeah.
A Travis Scott.
Yeah.
You know when that auto-tune starts going, that you're just in that space with them.
That wasn't your project though. Like I said, I heard half of it and it was not that.
Oh no, I'm rapping.
Yeah. And honestly, I heard a lot of growth from the older songs that you did.
Again, like I said, I think I learned 2 things. Music is about me. Like, I can't get, especially being an athlete first, I can't get off saying, I just pulled up in that new McLaren and they staring at me. Like, I can't do that because it's just like, that's like a shit on you move. Like,
but you were talking about a McLaren in the older songs.
Exactly.
Right?
But I'm saying that's the growth.
Aha.
Is, why are you doing that? We don't care, nigga. We want to hear about how'd you get the McLaren.
I mean, watching your wife go through her trials and tribulations in the music industry. Because I always felt like Tiana, she was always on the cusp of something big. Like, everyone always fucked with her. Because originally she was on Star Trek, right? With Pharrell, right? And then she was on Good Music. Yeah. And I'm sure there's probably some stuff in between that I'm possibly missing. But like I thought she dropped a great album on Good Music. Hurry, Hurry was like my shit. Like, that was that song that I just kept playing over and over and over again. You know, like certain songs are just...
all her shit cold, bro. Like, if you really go back and listen to 7, the shit cold. It's cold.
Right, because didn't I hear recently she was saying how she's retiring from music?
Yeah.
Is that really true?
She retired.
So that's it. She's done with music.
Yeah. Y'all ain't heard nothing since.
How long ago was that when she announced this?
It's about a year and a half now, maybe a year.
Huh. And she just stopped. She doesn't go in the studio. She doesn't. But when she told you she's doing that, what'd you tell her?
I really didn't say what I felt because I felt like that would have been selfish. She's been in that career, 17 years now? So it's like, I know what it was like to play all that time in the league, how long it took to get there, all my dreams, all the mental battles I've gotten through. If you wasn't there, I don't really care for what you got to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, besides like my dad and my brother, I don't really let a lot of people say something that can change how I'm going to go toward basketball, which I felt it was the same for her in this space where it's like I choose to retire because I don't feel appreciated and I don't feel like the push is there. I don't feel like that if I'm not going to do that, I feel like I should put all my energy into something else. I've given this enough time. And it's like for somebody that's been in the driver's seat, they know when they need to get out the driver's seat. You see what I'm saying? So it's like if she really feels this way, especially with me knowing my wife, I'm like, she's not just going to drop. She's just not going to quit. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's not just going to be like, all right, and walk off. Like, she's going to go for blood. So it's like, if she's saying she needs to do this for her mental health, she dead serious. And I just hope, like, in my mind now, I'm just like hoping it's a break. Like, I'm just like, please.
Yeah, I mean, she was working
I'm just hoping it's like a Jordan break. You know, you need to go play baseball for a little bit, babe. Go hit you some baseballs. Wear number 45.
Play some golf.
Yeah, go play some golf, smoke a couple Gohibas, and then bring your fine ass back to music, man.
Yeah, I mean, because she was working with Kanye. I mean, she was on
signed
good
to
music.
Kanye.
Kanye was. How many songs was Kanye on that album? Was it just that one, or was it more?
It might have been 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He did. Yeah, he just did all the beats.
Right, and he rapped on Hurry Hurry.
Yeah.
And like I said, like you're working at the highest levels. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're working with the best already. So I'm sure that was a tough decision. She was. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're working, meaning that she's working.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, that's what I meant. So yeah, I mean, if she was just done with it, I guess it was like, all right, you know, I guess I've done it.
But it's a lot of other shit. It's not like she done with like the sound of music and singing and shit. Like, it's a business side to this shit. And if it's not bringing in the capital that you deem the time that you putting into it, it's like you and naturally is gonna step away from anything. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason I ain't take my 10-day. This ain't got nothing to do with does Iman love to play basketball every day? Like, no.
Doesn't make financial sense.
Yeah, it's like I got 2 kids, I got a family. It's like I got shit I gotta handle. And it's like if I can't get nothing but a 10-day and we can't get nothing going, it's like I need to, move around and do some other stuff until we can make that happen.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like when it comes to entertainment, and I put sports in that same entertainment category, people always feel like the fans feel like you should just do it for the pure love. The money shouldn't matter. When the reality is the money does matter. Like, for example, when I had Gilbert Arenas on, we're talking about the whole Ben Simmons situation. You know what I'm saying? And people really got on him. Like, Stephen A. Smith called him like the worst athlete of all time in any sport and everything else like that. And Gilbert just broke it down and was like, look, we're talking about $20 million here. It's a lot of money. And if they're playing with this man's money like this, he's going to use whatever the rules are set up to make sure he gets that $20 million.
You got to remember how it all started is it started Philly messing up. Philly messed up first.
Right.
And they thought what they can do was, instead of just saying sorry to the kid, hey, we're sorry, we fucked up, we made you look bad, our bad. Instead of doing that, they have him come back to compound the issue, which they thought, well, we'll try to embarrass him by saying he has a cell phone in his pocket when it's a water bottle. You can see it, a water bottle. And then you prejudge that, okay, we're going to keep picking on him until he says something that we don't like, then we can fine him. So now we can suspend him for a game. Every game is $200,000. We keep that shit up. We get all our money back. And eventually, if you keep finding someone $200,000, $300,000 every game, they're going to act right. So they went into it with the notion of we're just going to fine him until he does what we want him to do. Well, they got smart and said, "Oh, back hurts. My back, right?
My neck and my back."
And then mental, the new mental clause that the NBA put in where you can't fine a guy or you can't suspend him indefinitely. So that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to do the defamation of the detrimental to the team, which means if I suspend you detrimental to the team, I can lift that anytime I want. So I suspend you for the whole year. Fuck off. Because it's mine. You're mentally not stable yet. I don't, whatever that means. They pull one of those. So they just got outsmarted, and he pulled it first.
And that's how he kind of broke it down. And Gilbert, of all people, knows how to get money. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was, I think, the second highest player this one year when he didn't even play. Contract. Yeah. And I mean, I think ultimately, like, we're talking about tens of millions of dollars, and it gets serious at that point. Like, we're not just talking about like, I'm feeling a certain type of way. You're looking at multi-generational wealth. I mean, when you look at the Ben Simmons situation, what do you think?
I don't know his health situation, bro. I don't know his health situation.
That just is what it is.
If you his teammate, shit, tell his ass to play. If you feel like dude should be playing, like,
yeah.
Shit, I remember when Banyani wasn't playing, I told him how I felt. Shorty, either you gonna play or you not gonna play. You need to play, Shorty, because Novak would have played. That was my issue when I got into it with Banyani. Like, dude, Novak would have played, G. Mm-hmm. And we don't have Novak here no more to put that belt on. We got your ass, so you playing. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if anybody has had that conversation, if they got into it, but sometimes that's what it takes. That's at least the basketball teams I've been on. Like, you think Rasheed Wallace would have let me fake an injury? Hell no. Rasheed Wallace would kick you in your chest, boy. Like, he ain't finna let you do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like people saying he faking an injury, he don't love it, he disgrace all that. When the man is healthy and he play basketball, kill all that noise, man. The man play good basketball. Now, all this contract shit and all the shit they got going on, that's the NBA and that's the business side of things. Like, them telling somebody to hold out and not sign and do it. I'm like, bro, we done watched it happen 100 different ways and we treat everybody's situation different. I thought it was whack for them to say he was one of the worst players ever and all this other shit. Like, y'all know good goddamn well that man will bust half the ass walking around here, dog. No bullshit. And the man can't even shoot, quote unquote. But he'll bust some ass. I done watched him do it and make a lot of people better at basketball while he doing it on the court. Like, we know why he got the money. You know what I'm saying? We watched the shit. Like, nobody had an issue until he started sitting out. So we can say the behavior sucks, but the whole he can't hoop shit that they going with, save it.
Did you hear what Kendrick said about Kyrie on his new album?
What was the specific quote?
He said, seen a Christian say the vaccine, mark of the beast. Then he caught COVID and prayed to Pfizer for relief. Then I caught COVID and started to question Kyrie. And he's talking about how Kyrie didn't play for part of the season because he refused to take the vaccine.
What's the question?
How do you feel, when you talk about people who don't play for personal reasons or whatever else, when you saw Kyrie sitting out because he wouldn't get vaccinated, what was your take on that?
Letting his nuts hang. It's like, bro, I'm not taking it. And you can't fault him. Like, that's what I said. This shit is really about decisions. That scares people so much that Kyrie said, under no circumstance am I going to take that vaccine. And everybody was like, yeah, but as soon as they tell him they ain't going to pay him that money, he going to do it. And then they was like, we taking some of your check. He was like, okay, cool. And they was like, what? Then they was like, you know what? You can't play at home then. And he was like, okay, cool. And they was like, oh. I'm like, bro, he told y'all 17 different versions of this offer ago. He's not taking it. But people real life do not know how to do that. Like, make a life decision that says, bro, this is bigger than basketball. This is bigger than everything y'all got going on. I told myself this when I was 3 years old. Nobody was going to make me do shit. If I didn't want to do it, nobody's going to make me do shit. I made this promise to myself. If you make that promise to yourself, who the fuck are these people? Now, the extra rants, that shit is funny. The going on live, the Ustream, whatever live stream he did on the video game, That's funny as hell. I think
Right.
that's funny, but that's just him poking at the human nature of, y'all want to have a conversation? Y'all say I'm ready for the conversation? Let's have the conversation.
I mean, if he played the whole season, do you think that you would see Brooklyn in the finals?
Wish I would have saw it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Can't make no predictions, man. I'm biased anyway, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like they should have signed me, then they could have made it.
Mm.
They could have did a lot better closing games. I ain't gonna lie, like that's me being petty because we doing the interview right now and you just mentioned that, so that's me inserting myself into the league again.
Right.
But dead serious, I could have helped them because that's what they needed to be able to close games and be able to say we need more chances.
Oh yeah, I mean that squad at the start of the season, everyone was like, okay, these guys are gonna win. Like, you know what I mean? Like the amount of talent that Brooklyn had was just insane.
Y'all get excited over paper too much. I think that the new basketball fans, like, and the new media-driven stuff, it's like y'all will see a couple of names on paper and it'd be like, bro, how do y'all, like, it's like, do y'all see jelly on a fucking sandwich, take the peanut butter off the top of it, and then go over there and grab a hoagie with
You can't just mush everyone together and expect them to win a championship.
The sandwich game is just crazy. And mine just be like, that sandwich didn't taste good. Like, bro, fucking duh. Duh, bro. Like, they don't even play the same. They don't even agree. They get into it when they play against each other. That's how much they don't like you. And people just merge anybody together. They do the press release and they like, oh, we ain't finna lose this year. No, y'all finna lose a lot. Like, you see that a lot happen.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I felt when everybody was like, Russ look crazy. I'm like, duh, Bron's got the ball now. Duh, guys. Like,
Yeah, I mean, the thing about professional sports, which is so different than everything else, is that someone could pull out their phone and Google your salary. Like, you can't do that with me. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know how much I make. Yeah, you can go on Celebrity Net Worth and maybe get a
gauge it,
ballpark or whatever, but you can't see how much I made in 2021.
No.
And I'm not going to tell you. So at the end of the day, there's a level of privacy that everyone else has that people like you do not. You know, literally you could put, oh, how much did you make that year? Okay. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you're now a target potentially because everyone in that club knows exactly how much you make this year and maybe even for the next 2 or 3 years. I mean, does that get annoying to a certain level?
no.
Why is that?
Because I needed the money. Real talk, Joe. I didn't go to the league feeling like if I don't go to the league, I'm going to just be this broke dude on the street. Like, I knew I needed money. However, I was going to have to get money. So whether y'all knew how much money I was going to have or not, I don't care. I think about that line from Baby Boy, man. You got your guns. You got your butter. That's it. It's guns and butter, dog. Like, no one. Go get your shit, get your home, and defend your home.
I mean, you know, speaking of money, when you look at, for example, Brittany Griner's situation right now,
Yeah.
where she's basically still locked up in Russia.
Some bullshit.
Some bullshit. But from what I understand, the reason why they were even over there was because that's where they can make a lot more money, playing in Russia. That was the only reason she was over there, because the WNBA wasn't paying what Russia was paying. She goes over there just to make a few extra dollars. Next thing you know, she gets caught up in a damn war. Mm-hmm. And now she's what I consider a political prisoner.
For sure.
Do you know her at all?
I've met her a couple of times, but I don't know her like that. But she don't deserve that.
It's a real fucked up situation.
It's very fucked up. It's very fucked up because whether right or wrong, she done had to live with that trauma already. She already got the trauma, so it don't even matter whether y'all bring her home later on or she was still over there for a fucked up. So it's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? No matter how it goes, y'all did this all because it's a war or what. I don't really care the reason no more. It's like, bro, if she that much in trouble, send her over here and let us deal with it. Her troublesome shit. They know we ain't gonna do it, but still, it's just like send her to the crib. You know what I mean? Like, it sucks. It really does. I hate, as an athlete, how easy it is to make an example out of you. I really hate that.
Well, and then when you look at a lot of the NBA players' careers, you know, whether it's, you know, I just interviewed Eddie Curry, you know, just a lot of people I interview, ultimately, once their NBA career ends, they usually go overseas, whether it's China or different parts of Europe or everything else like that. It doesn't seem like you've ever really considered that, or have you?
At some point I did.
Yeah?
If it made sense.
Did you get offers overseas?
Yeah, but it wasn't for nothing that I felt like was worth me going over there.
It's not enough money?
Yeah, I'm really big on, like, I've never been a lazy motherfucker, bro. Like, I've never, like, though I've, you know, maybe put a little more time into basketball than other things, I never saw other things as, like, all I know how to do is play basketball. Like, so I just look at numbers. I always like looking at numbers as they made sense. And if you really think about it, I won half the battle already. Like, half the battle is being able to get yourself to a point financially that you got a nest egg so that you actually can make moves. You know what I'm saying? I think so many people probably getting the same check that I'm getting, right? That I'm getting right now. You can get the same type money as me right now, but unless you made the money that I just made in the last 10 years, you can't move how I can move. A lot of people don't understand that. And I didn't spend a lot of my checks from back then because it was like, you know, from the last 4 or 5 years I did because I had kids and a wife, and that shit is, you know, that's a little more expensive. But before that, it was like, bro, I didn't spend no money on shit. I didn't want shit. Didn't even like jewelry that much. You know what I'm saying? Didn't like cars. I had like one car. You know what I'm saying? Living in a brownstone in New York, didn't own that shit. Like, I was just chilling, just saving money. So it's like, when the league didn't have nothing for me, I was just like, all right, cool. So I'll take these other jobs and do this. But I'm just not as flamboyant with my money, I guess. Like, to just be spending it on random stuff, I don't really do that. Any money that I got put up is most likely in like real estate and shit.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I interviewed Eddie Curry. He made $56 million in his career and ended up $2 million in debt. And it was just like divorces, child support, you know, his money manager stealing from him. Like his...
Because you got to think, when you got all that chaos, it's easy to say.
Right. You know, like he gave his money manager power of attorney, and this guy went and took a $580,000 loan that he didn't know about. And by the time he figured it out, it was $4 million. And then he had to go and get a loan from his future income in order to pay that back, which is, you know, interest on top of interest. Yo, this was an 18-year-old kid who went from high school to the NBA with a $15 million contract without family members who knew what to do with money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've always looked at money as, I've never looked at such thing as a middle class. There's either rich or poor. Now, if you have money that you invest with, you will eventually get rich. If you spend all your money, it doesn't matter if you make $10 million a year, you will end up poor. And if you don't have that financial literacy, and if you don't have people around you who are actually teaching you, or if you're learning it yourself, there's no way you could actually get to a financial level. Like, I used to fuck off my money over and over again until I finally started making money. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to start reading books by Warren Buffett. I'm going to like actually learn how to invest my money myself in the stock market and everything else like that. And that was a complete, thank God I did that, or else I'd be potentially broke right now. I mean, you yourself, when you first started making money, did you ever get ripped off, or did you really take the time to really learn what to do with your money?
I hired an accountant. I hired a financial advisor, and I made sure they hated each other. They was always trying to like outdo each other with what they knew. Initially, they like really like you need to get rid of him. You need to get rid of him type shit.
Was that Biggie line? Got lawyers watching lawyers, so I won't be broke.
Type shit. Yeah, I always would like do like little dickhead. Like early on I did it. Like now I actually check the account, like look at it. But I used to be nervous of checking my account. I never really wanted to know how much money I had because of the shock factor of it. You know what I'm saying? Like when you go from being a broke kid and never knowing the conversation that happens when you're not around. You know what I'm saying? Like, I became a part of every conversation that I'd never heard. I had never heard people's biggest secrets and they fucking gambling problems and fucking people putting stuff against their crib behind their wife back. And like, you start hearing like everything from not just your parents, like friends, and like, you'll just hear all the stuff, hearing the stuff that my parents had held down for all these people around them, and the scale of what my dad was making and what my mom was making, to hear that they was dishing out this much money to other people to help them, and that they was looked at like that. And then for me to inherit now the web of people that's around me, it was like everybody is now telling me their problems. I couldn't have a conversation with somebody without them telling me financially how they could use a win. You know what I'm saying? So it was like I was trying to hide that from myself. I would call my accountant and my financial guy and be like, I want the records from my 2014 fall of my spending. And but I was like, ask a quiz and like pop quiz, like, yo, get me the records from this and woo woo. But it was really just to keep them on their toes. Like, I always wanted people to feel like, I know that's sitting there, but I'm going to check on it every month. And the times you think I'm not, or I ain't going to want the paperwork or something to happen, like if it take longer than an hour, I might be threatening to fire your ass. Like, see what I'm saying? Like, I was always like that, and they always felt that presence. And then my brother, he was like a dickhead off the bat, so it was like you never really got a smile out of him. So when I brought him on, it made people uncomfortable to even play with us like that, because they like, this dude, he don't want to hear nothing but the real facts. He don't want to have a friendly conversation with you, nothing like that. And I'm thankful that I put in position who I put in position, because fast forward now, it was like when I'm like, yo, do I need to woo-woo? They're like, well, we don't need to panic about nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you don't want to take that over there, this is all you have to do. You make this a year, woo, woo, woo. This is how this is going to work, and that's how that works.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I interviewed Jose Canseco. He went from being one of the highest, baseball players ever to World Series wins and everything else like that to sleeping in someone's garage. How does it feel to be Jose Canseco, two-time World Series champion, all these other awards, everyone knows you, you're bigger than baseball, and here you are in jail in a dirty cage eating shitty food with a bunch of criminals around you?
Well, people don't know this, but after that time, I had a really bad time. I actually had $20 in my pocket and lived in a garage for about 6 months. So I don't think people know that part of it either. I went through some really hard times. When I wrote the book Juiced, I made millions, invested that money in a property and lost that. But after that, there was a period of time where no one would talk to me at all. No one would deal with me. No one would hire me. And financially, I was strapped. So I ended up living for about 6 months in a garage.
That's tough.
Yeah. Whenever I feel full of myself, I watch 30 for 30 Broke to just remind myself what could happen.
What do you mean?
You know 30 for 30 on ESPN? They have an episode called Broke.
Yeah.
And it just shows all the players that fucked off their money.
What do you mean? Like if you get beside yourself?
Well, when I'm just feeling like I'm paid and I got all this money and I could spend whatever I want, like let me just remind myself, because I've gone broke before. Like I remember fresh out of college, I started a company, it took off, I had employees, office, bought a drop-top Benz, bought a house, had a girl, and then the dot-com crash happened and wiped me out.
Copy.
And it was like, next thing I know, I'm in fucking Brooklyn sleeping on my man's couch, trying to figure out where I went wrong. And you know what I'm saying? DJing at a strip club, trying to figure out the wrong moves I made in my life. You know what I'm saying? Going from, not what I'm doing now, but doing well, to going completely broke and in debt, not having enough money to pay my taxes, living off the money that I should be paying my taxes with. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And starting a whole new career in hip hop at like 28, 29 years old. Like, and I remember that pain, because a lot of times when you start making money for the first time, you just assume you're just going to keep making it forever. Like, okay, yeah, I can spend this because next year I'm going to make this, and it's going to keep growing and blah, blah.
I think that's what's crazy about me. I never had a weird spending habit like that. I've always been, I think it's from just being around my pop. Like, I don't, like, sometimes people buy stuff and I'll be like, why? Like, it don't even, like, make sense to me.
I mean
you be like, bro, what are you doing? We'll go out and somebody will be, like, going out all week. But I'll look like, bro, you done spent, like, it gotta be at least 100 bands now this week on just us going out.
Right.
You taking your homies shopping, out to eat in every city. I'm like, bro, you ain't ate the team. Like, the team give us food, bro. I ain't gonna lie. After my rookie year, I asked my brother, I said, I don't know how people go broke. I said, I don't know how you can go broke. You tell me y'all gonna pay my taxes for me in advance. This is the league. I don't know if they just started doing this either. I don't know what year they started.
Gilbert Arenas slept
in the locker room.
In the Golden State locker room his rookie year because he took all his money and bought cars and jewelry and then ended up broke. Didn't have gas money, literally, to go back and forth to the games and slept. Now, later on, he paid hundreds of millions of dollars. But he had to learn that the hard way that, like, yo, this money's not forever. And if you go and fuck it up.
Damn near an advantage because he's sleeping in the gym.
Exactly. You gotta, like, I went through that shit, so I still got that fear in the back of my head that, like, yo, like.
Nah, I saved up. So what I calculated for myself is, if I'm putting my shit in safe bonds and safe investments and companies that I know are gonna put money back into their company to make sure that their company continues to grow.
Dividends. Well, no, not dividends, but reinvestments. Yeah, right.
But if I can lock onto these companies quickest. Because I knew already, like, getting Apple stock and shit, like, we knew back then grabbing that stock then what it was going to be now. Nigga, we're using the iPhone, like, hey, this is going nowhere. Fucking iPhone is going nowhere.
Right.
So it's like, no matter when you get in, you're straight because they're going to constantly take that money, put it back in the Apple that's going to make it keep on going. You see what I'm saying? So when you get into those safe type investments, people that are going to make products every year and they're going to keep doing it, the cars that are going to make cars, like things that are just going to keep appreciating in value. I knew there's going to be a certain amount that I'm going to get every year off interest. How do I get my nest egg to the point that I can live comfortably off interest? Once I got to that number, I knew, okay, this is my budget per month, right? Once I cleared that, I'm able to say, boom, now this is my budget per month. But in no shape or form do you live outside yourself. All you got, I would say with everybody, when you come up with your percentage on, say you make $1 million, like if you know that your house need to be 10% that, you good. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to understand what you got and how to move. Like if you learn these percentages and you learn these numbers, you could literally take it and put it on any scale. You just got to know how I flip and how I play on your scale, but that shit works and it shit means something. But it's like, you got to be able to tell that pretty girl, like, hey, shorty, you got to chill. I had a lot of teammates I could tell, bro, this check getting in your hand, it's the first time the pretty girl done looked your way, man. It's your first time, man. You was uglier than you thought, man.
Listen, I interviewed Mike Tyson. He burned through, I think, 300 million. You know what I'm saying? I remember there was a story where he bought a Lamborghini.
But that's credit cards.
No, that was money he was making.
Yeah,
you got to understand, like
credit
Tyson.
Cards. I'm saying when you have a credit card, you can't see it.
Right.
So Mars to take out cash and swipe the credit card for whatever. You see what I'm saying? Like you swipe a credit card, like, I don't know if people know, you could spend like, you could get off with a credit card.
American Express, especially that has no limit. Yeah, I could just.
You'll fucking.
I could just keep going.
Yeah, you'll fucking day up. They won't call you and they won't call you and be like, "Oh, did you mean to do this?" They are not calling you to say that. They are letting it go.
It won't be turned down.
They're like, "That's why you keep swiping." Yeah, that's how you keep swiping it. And then they'll call you a couple months later if you ain't paid it.
Yeah, I mean, because like I remember Tyson when we interviewed him, he was like, see, like Tyson was making more than everybody. Like all his contemporaries, like the actors and the singers, he was making more than that. Right. So with him, money never really clicked with him. So there'd be situations like he bought a Lamborghini and when he went to go park it in valet, he ended up backing up and like hitting something. And he was like, "Oh, this Lamborghini's bad luck." Throws the keys to the valet, said, "Keep it." Yeah. And the valet would keep it. It'd be like little stories like this where like, I mean, luckily Tyson was still someone that people really gravitated towards, and he was able to make a lot more money over the years. But like, a lot of these guys don't recover. A lot of these guys will blow through their money, and you have these entourages. Like who was Andre Rison? I interviewed him. He had an entourage of like 20 people, 20 grown men that he would fly everywhere, put them in hotels, pay for their meals, take them shopping, buy them clothes.
And that becomes a tough conversation. Like some of my album is about that.
Really? You went through that?
Yeah.
How so?
I got a song on there called Forgiveness where I'm like, it's really talking about the time spent away from my homies, where some of my homies felt like I hate looking at these other hoopers bringing their homies, and they got their homies with them and they all doing this, and they like, we sick of that. Like, we sick of you feeling like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and then when I'm ready to take this mask off for the league, we can all come out the shadows type of shit. But it's like, I used to try and keep all that separate. I didn't want to look like, have the image of Iman comes in with 20, but stop thinking I don't come in with 20. You know what I'm saying? But it was like, I made it make sense. And I also understood, bro, if I don't feel it year one, I'm going to feel it. Bringing y'all everywhere with me for no reason. Now putting you at a table that you can't pay for dinner. So who's going to have to pay for it? Me, times 20.
Yeah.
So it's like you putting people in positions where you have to pay for everything. You have to pay for their clothes. You're putting them in settings and positions where they have to be up to par. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not going to invest that into them for them to make a move, you can't have them in that picture all the time. We understood that early. You know what I'm saying? I never really had people in position for too long where it's like, if I felt like you couldn't capitalize or do anything and it's just burning a hole, I'd be like, man, bro, you know what I'm saying? We'll shake around, we'll come back to it, whatever. And I'm always trying to do a new project. Like all my homies know, I'll try and do a new project or two. It's just like, after a while, you got to know what makes sense and say, hey, man, if I'm the one that made it out and to go do all this and make all these extra shots that y'all are getting, these little shots in the dark that y'all getting, if I made all this possible, let me continue to keep that train on the tracks so that we still got more shots in the tank. Because one of these shots, I'm like, when you got your homies like that, if you going to have them around and you going to do all of that, I hope you feeding their mind to do something on their own that could take off. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all an investment.
Yeah, like look at LeBron. He took his homies and he actually put them to work and they excelled.
For sure.
Their job.
I mean, LeBron's also he knew he was going number one since freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
You don't matter who my agent. I'm getting the most you could ever get every time. That's what you ask for. Ask for something outrageous and we'll see what I'm really worth. But just go ask for $100 million a year and we'll see what the cap is. Seriously though,
that's for the shoe deal.
That's empowering somebody. Everybody's not gonna get that. That's an extreme situation where, like, you could have brokered Bron's deal. Any of them.
He wants 100.
We'll give him 90.
Walk out.
Sign 90.
No, walk out.
Real talk though, and they probably would have came back. You know what? 101. We got you. But it's like you have those moments with certain players that you're gonna have. That is just. I didn't feel like I had that type of leverage to come in the league and rob them for 100 a year. Like, I didn't have that leverage. So we're going to be realistic with the situation.
Yep. So what's next for you? I mean, you got the album. I mean, is it coming out officially?
The album
independently?
So it's not, it doesn't have an actual date yet because.
Is there a name?
This car ain't stolen.
Okay.
So this car, it's called that because we're preaching on ownership. I had a situation growing up. I remember getting pulled over and then feeling like because we was in a van with a sliding door that we was on some bullshit. We got stretched out. You know, y'all going through the car. There's nothing in the car because it's my mama van, like I said. Yeah, they just was doing the most. And I remember feeling like, okay, so we get searched in the Lexus because the Lexus is too nice. We get searched in the van because the van make it look like we trying to use the slider door to do bullshit because we too big of kids sitting in this car.
Oh, like a drive-by or something? That's what they thought?
But they was looking like, why y'all packed in this van? And I'm like, bro, we broke. It's my mama car. We
We
got
a ride.
one, and we going to hoop. But it's like, why don't we look like we going to hoop to you? Why does it look like we just on some whole other shit? They was asking if we was stealing bikes. Everything was like, why do y'all have that slider door type shit? And we just like, bro, like we great kids. You know what I'm saying? We're fucking awesome kids, bro. We're going to hoop all day. We got my mama car. You know what I'm saying? There ain't nothing in here but waters and Gatorades. It's empty bottles and shit. The worst you gonna see in this car is if somebody pissed in one of the bottles. Like, it's about the worst you getting in this car, bro. I'm like, whatever weed we had is in the air. It's gone. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't know what this stop is about. And I'm like, as I got older, I'm like, no matter what car I'm in, I'm getting pulled over. It's just cool to be comfortable now knowing driving in the car, the only way y'all was gonna get something if this was a stolen car. If we didn't make a payment on the car, we didn't make a payment on the insurance. Everything is about ownership and making sure that you checked off every box. So I'm like, it's cool to be this age to feel like nobody can censor me and I can say what I need to say, get out the messages I need to get out, and for it to come full circle and not matter what car I'm in no more. I know you probably just want to see if I got my shit together. So let's come look. So I called the album that because it's like the come look, I got my shit together. You know what I'm saying? Like no matter what decision I make, I can't really lose. I already won.
Yeah, and it's got no features.
Yeah, it's really me. It's the reason I did that is, like I said, it's a story too to it. It's not really, it's just not, I'm just on there like, I'm telling my truth. Like it's not me editing it and trying to make sure, oh man, this song will be way hotter if this person do the hook, then it's really out of here because they know him. It's like, bro, whether they know him or not, this story got to make sense. Like even if this album comes out and only 15 people listen to it, I feel like my 15 real core fans should get that album that is just me. Now, this next album that gonna come after this, yeah, I'm gonna pull out all the little features and shit that I got, and we gonna start mixing fans and trying to grow the brand out for sure. But I felt like the first time y'all hear from me, especially with me saying, dog, this is how I'm doing it now. This is my record label, A Centerpiece Records. This is my team. This is the Center Gang. These are my producers. These is, once I'm able to present it like that and have the camera and tell the story and feel like, bro, y'all ain't got to black this part out because I might get in trouble and not be able to play in my game tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is made to touch. It's made to make that fan and that listener uncomfortable and say, man, I ain't no dude went through that. Maybe I should just go work out every day, bro. He was going through the same shit when he was young. I'm thinking I'm a bad kid. And you ain't that bad a kid, bro. We was all doing something stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all had those moments, and it's like, I just really tried to tap into that and say, what did I need to hear when I was 14? What did I need to be desensitized to? Like, I hate how people react to guns. Like, I don't like it. Like,
You love guns, right?
I do.
You love going to the shooting range more than
I love
you
going
love playing basketball, right?
No.
No? Not that far?
No, it ain't that far. But I like.
No,
I
wait,
do
hold
like,
on. Wait, there's a quote. Hold on, because I didn't just pull this out of thin air.
Okay.
You said in this one article interview that you had, you said, I love going to the shooting range, probably just as much as I like going to the gym to shoot jumpers.
Yeah, but that's not. You said more.
Okay,
One.
as much.
But you get
That's
what
still
I'm
saying a lot, considering you're a
But you get what
professional
I'm
basketball
saying.
player.
It's still a game. It's still precise. You shoot a basketball to go in the rim. You shoot a bullet to hit the target.
Right.
It's the same system. That's
Yeah.
what I meant. It's the same focus to me. It's some guys are gonna be like, I like to go to golf. Why? You putting a ball in the hole. That's it. And it's hard. The first day I got to shoot a gun in a shooting range and be like, oh shit, trying to hit that dot is extremely hard. If y'all brought this mod close, I still couldn't get it. And I'm like, bro, I thought that was something though. You know, Bulls win, officer give you the gun, we go shoot it out in the air. We thought that was something. Like, yeah, I shot a gun for. Yeah, we went to the
air, right?
Yeah, we went to the junkyard and shot the gun at the trash. I did that before. You know what I'm saying? Nigga that tossed me the gun. We was riding in the backseat of the car. But it's like you had never really got to see. If you had ever shot a gun, most times people don't even know if they hit anything sometimes.
Right, the whole
like,
holding it sideways bullshit.
not even the holding sideways. It's just in those jams, in those situations, you may be hopping in a car. It's other shit happening. Not everybody is like sitting on a knee like the Tupac movie, shooting like this out the comfort of their car, and it's so much shit going on. Like most of the shootings that you see, World Star, Fly Height, whatever site you see your violence on, you know what I'm saying? You see it, it's like a scatter, people falling, somebody's running you over. Like it's like every time you've seen somebody shoot a gun, who really knows where that bullet goes until the news come on?
Right, most people don't even watch the body drop. As soon as they shoot,
you just trying to protect yourself and get out of there. You don't know what's going on. Sometimes people aim it, don't even shoot it. So it's like when you go to an actual range and, knowing that, I'm like, bro, I would like to know that I could be in a grocery store or somewhere. Of course, I live in Georgia, too. We can get that out the way before the cops start searching me in every city. I live in Georgia where you're allowed to, you know what I'm saying? You get your stuff right. You can get your concealed carry. But it's like they don't teach the black kids that, like, we don't get taught that. We get taught you bogus or you dangerous or you're a bad person if you have a gun. And it's like, that's not the case at all. Like, actually, we need more guys that are fathers doing the right thing. Mm-hmm. Y'all should have a firearm.
Oh, I got multiple firearms at home.
I would feel so much better being in a grocery store with a bunch of fucking dads. And then, like the shit that happened the other day where the shooter comes in
Buffalo, yeah.
Try that shit in Texas.
Yeah, forget it.
Try that shit in Georgia.
New York is on some bullshit. I remember when I lived in Manhattan.
But I'm saying you can't do that in certain places where you know people could carry their gun, because anybody in any aisle might pull that gun.
You'll get shot.
And we're gonna, as the baby said, we're gonna neutralize him until y'all get here. He will be neutralized.
The baby said that?
The baby said that. He is neutralized until y'all get him. Yes, he is hurt.
Right.
He is shot. That's who is screaming. He is alive, but he is neutralized till y'all get here. But y'all should come get him. You know what I'm saying? But it's like that type of situation is why you want people that are good citizens, are passing their background check. It's like, I don't feel uncomfortable coming in places and people have their own firearms, especially not when they do it the correct way.
Right.
It's like, bro, that's like a grown man putting on shoes. He not coming to look for me, bro. He just has something just in case it go down. We need all the good guys to have one. Like,
I agree.
That's how I feel about it. I don't feel that way about it.
I completely agree. I've been a gun owner for a very long time. I have multiple guns at home.
They're cool.
You know what I'm saying?
They're cool.
Yeah, I love guns.
They're cool, man.
Do you know that Gilbert Arenas had 500 guns at one point?
Jesus.
During that incident, remember the whole getting the gun pulled out in the locker room?
Get rid of
at the time, he had 500 guns.
I bet. But it's like shoes, bro. Like, first of all, you can only use one at a time, or you can use two, honestly, but you won't use one at a time. It's like having shoes. Like, you just got a lot of them. After a while, you just
You want to
buying
switch
them.
it up every so often.
Yeah, but it's more the sport of it. It's more saying that focus and that calmness and being out there on the range and being able to do that. You get out some aggression by doing it. It's some people that like to hunt and deal with that adrenaline rush. That's some top of the food chain shit that people deal with. I want to one day we'll go do the shit too. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because it's like, bro, we on this earth for 100 years, I want to try some shit out.
Yeah, I mean, Tupac used to always go to the range.
Yeah.
That's actually when he got in that situation with those cops in Atlanta, that's how he was able to actually get out of that situation safely. Because he had been going to the range and firing his gun and training for a long ass time. So remember, you know about the situation. When he popped the two off-duty cops.
That's what I'm saying, shit like that. But he's able to think
slowly. He was able to pull out, aim,
knock it down.
Not just, bang, hit a girl, hit a baby. He
hit two jumpers from the corner.
Yeah, exactly. He hit his target.
Hit two jumpers from the corner.
And he got off. Because he showed that those cops were drunk.
Did a great interview at the end of the game.
And went home.
You feel what I'm saying?
The party.
That's it.
That's how it is.
That's how I look at it. I think people right away, they hear guns and they just automatically see you with like a bandana hanging out of a car, like letting off an AK into the air. And it's like, bro, say what you want. The only reason y'all have ever dialed 911 is because each one of them has it on their hip. And probably another one in their trunk. So if I'm gonna have to wait 15 minutes for them to get here, how they do it in my life, I don't know how everybody else should go. If I gotta wait 15 minutes for y'all to get here, I'ma neutralize them until y'all I can't stop saying that. This made me super funny with that. It's not funny. It's a fucked up situation that somebody got shot.
Not really. It was a home intruder, and that was the first time.
It was the phone call and how he kept saying it. He kept saying it. He is neutralized. Here y'all get here. They did the voice change on his voice so that nobody knew it was him. Oh, it was hilarious.
Man, listen, quite a life, and it's like. I think that the dopest part is that you're continuing to do things on your own terms. You know what I'm saying? Is that, okay, I'm not playing the NBA right now. I've been making good decisions all these years where I'm going to make decisions that sit right with my spirit and with my character. I'm not just doing it just for the money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sitting there doing a bunch of celebrity boxing type shit and getting embarrassed in the ring and, you know what I mean? Just because I need the money. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and this is why, like, I've always preached financial literacy on VladTV really since the very beginning about, like, invest, like, put your money in the stock market. You know what I mean? Don't do risky shit. You know, if you're going to buy property, you know what I'm saying? Like do it for the right reasons. You know, because
I talk about that in the album too.
Yeah.
Buying property, buying cars, renting cars out that I bought because I
all my
realized
cars
I
are
wouldn't
leased.
drive them.
All my cars are leased.
Oh, no, I didn't say that.
Yeah, I mean, I have no reason to buy
you
cars.
do that.
Because they're bad investments. Car's not a good investment.
Why?
Because it depreciates every year.
No, they told you that in the textbook.
No, I mean, maybe these days with what's happening in the economy with used cars selling for more, but in general, unless you have a certain type of car.
You can rent it out. You could put it on movie sets.
Yeah, do you really want to go through all that trouble? Do you really want to churn? Do you really want to become a car rental shop? Or do you really want to focus on what you're really good at?
You want to keep paying for a car note for the rest of your life?
I have no problems leasing cars for the rest of my life.
That's a note the rest of your life?
No problem.
I'm done.
No problem.
I don't have a note.
Well, you have insurance.
That you got to pay that too. So that's an extra charge though.
Okay. But
that's a separate charge from lease. What I'm saying is it's a win to own. We can't lie to these people. That's a preference to take a lease. It's not better.
It really depends because the lease
you could actually what car you get.
You could actually write off the lease 100% based on your business.
You can do that.
See what I'm saying?
You got to give them that loophole though.
Can't do that. Can't do that when you buy a car.
You can't just use your girl LLC either. You can't just use your girl LLC. I see what y'all did during COVID.
I have a proper business and I have a proper business
card. I see what y'all did during COVID, man. You can't use your girl LLC. You can't sell the waist trainers and get a Lambo the next day and shit. I see what y'all doing, man.
Exactly. You could actually write off the car.
No, you definitely can.
And that's why I've been doing it all these years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You need to give a tutorial on that. Make them pay $1.99, walk them through that.
Yeah.
I'm going to start doing shit like that one day. I'm definitely charging y'all $1.99.
Yep. You know, but the whole thing is that
$1.99 in the dream, motherfucker.
but the fact that you have what you call a nest egg, other people call savings or whatever you want to call it, means that at this point in your life, you're doing what you want to do and what you think are the best decisions in the future and the best long-term decisions. Because I feel like the more money you have set aside, the longer term your decisions are.
Man,
you see what I'm saying?
Hear it on the album, I say, this part of life I'm doing for the homies around me. I could be petty, but I'm 30 with a 40 on me, whistle at me. And all I'm saying is, if I got a gun on me, it's to protect something that I earned.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Doing this for the homies mean I done created a nest egg that got me straight. Now I'm trying to create something that's like, boom, now all they could skyrocket too. Cause that same fear that I had of like, yo, people was all asking me for something. It's like, can I create enough avenues and keep my foot holding open enough doors till everybody get through a door and everybody straight? Cause that helped my nest egg go up. You see what I'm saying? So I think it's more about that. For so long, I've been trying to like keep everybody separate and, you know, you come as a plus one, and now it's more about just the collaborative efforts. Like, how many people can we collab? How many numbers can we bring in? Like, how many times can we show them, like, hey, bro, if we come, we probably gonna come with like 50 people, but the energy gonna be there when we get there. You know what I'm saying? It's like a big movement and a big deal. It's been cool though, learning like the business trade, learning the ups and downs, the marketing side of things, trying to understand the new social media shit. Cause you know, they only showing your posts to like 20% of people and shit. So it's like,
especially on Facebook.
you see what I'm saying? Like just understanding all that, understanding numbers, understanding what the people want. It's been cool to study it nonetheless, even though I've been kind of sick that I ain't been playing in the league. But it's like, nonetheless, growth is growth and experiences are experiences. I'm just glad I said yes to a lot of stuff so far.
Well, look, I have 15 full-time employees. All of them are very fairly paid. All of them have health insurance, full health insurance, and dental insurance, and vision, and life insurance. That's all off of me.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? Off of a company that I created in my bedroom.
Fine.
You know what I mean? And every month, you know what I'm saying? And
it feels
they get
good.
bonuses and raises, and they're in great working conditions. They get the newest equipment to work on. And it's just like, yo, like, that to me is like, you know, and I realized early on, like the more money you have, like I said, the longer you know, the decision-making process is longer. Like, the richest people are making decisions based past their lifetime. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, when you're sitting on billions of dollars, you're thinking about what this money is going to do 100 years from now when you're dead and gone, what your great-great-grandparents, you know, great-great-great-grandkids are doing. Mm-hmm. When you're struggling, you're thinking about tomorrow or next week.
That's it.
You see what I'm saying?
That's it.
And you make the worst decisions when you're just trying to get to next week, because you're just trying to get to next week. You don't worry about a month from now what's going to happen. You know, you don't worry about taking these credit cards with this, you know, these crazy interest rates
all the time. Which again, that's why I'm gonna send you the link to the album.
Okay.
I got a song on there called Broke. And you start realizing like the difference. Like, I know you said that you always seen it as rich or poor. Mm-hmm. There's rich, there's broke. But there's rich, there's middle class, there's broke, and there's poor, to me. Poor is like you need help and assistance. So you're getting assistance from the government. Mm-hmm. So that's a different vibe, which poor is hard to understand, because poor will lie to you. Because every time poor people get some money, they can actually blow it knowing they get assistance and aid coming from the government. You know what I'm saying? I never understood that, and I had to understand that breakdown. Broke people usually don't get the aid, but still don't have the nest egg. Middle class is usually they have the nest egg, but it's literally just to float them for what they need. There's no extra.
Right.
See what I'm saying? And then you got rich. That's just like, we got everything we need, and then we go get it. Like, we go get more and do whatever the fuck and replenish whatever we spend.
And in the rich stage, your money is being invested and your money is making money.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying with the broke
That's
thing.
the difference. If your money is not making money, and if you're basing everything off of your labor, you will always be
You can't
middle
tell them money
class
making money though, because then they spend their money. This is why I always...
money is making money that you don't touch.
Yeah. That's what it is.
That's the hidden.
It's like,
and
bro,
people who don't have money don't understand. Like, what do you mean? You talk about these stocks making all this money and you can't go spend it? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
First off, you got to get the collection of money together that you don't spend.
Exactly.
Then you got to put that over there and forget about it. Now you start another nest egg that's actual savings.
Right.
It's like, now you got some money.
Right.
Now, and you're still broke at this point, because it's like, so it's like you got to put some money into investments that's just going to work for you.
Right.
Then you get you some savings just in case everything goes bad.
Right.
Now you could play ball. Like, now your money that comes in, you could start evaluate. But people, it's that shoebox idea. You finally see that 20,000 you saved up, and you're just like, man, I'm gonna spend 10,000 of the 20,000 just because I worked at my ass off. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, bro, I've been trying to get all my homies to get to like 20, 40 bands, bro, and then call yourself broke. Because if you just been doing whatever you've been doing to get there, if you live frugally like that for another 6 months and you could bring in another 40, by the time that other 40 get here, if this 40's already invested, by that time that get here, now you got bread. Because now you can make moves, you can make other investments, you can make a play and actually take a loss. You can see what you're good at. A lot of people don't even have enough money to see what they're good at.
Yeah, and when you realize what the power of compounded interest actually does, when you learn how that actually works over the course of a few years, When your money doubles and then doubles and then doubles, when it goes up 10%, and your original investment's actually like 200%, that's when you're really like, oh shit. Yeah. Like this is why when I talk about looking at things past your lifetime, this is why most of the money is in these huge trusts. You know what I mean? These pension funds, these university funds that have been running for 200, 300, 400 years. And they've just been accumulating money every year. And eventually you're sitting on billions of dollars. Yeah. And no one's touching it. No one's touching it. They're not going out and spending that shit.
Not at all.
People don't understand that part. But that's really what I say. Like, there's no real middle class because the middle class just has that little bit of savings to get by. Someone loses their job, someone gets sick, that savings is gone.
Go.
And now you're back on the grind again. If you're rich, that savings, okay, I'm going to use that savings to get by, but I'm sitting on another 10, 20 million over here in my investments that if I want to chip away a little bit at it, it's not a big deal.
Right.
So, financial literacy, man, it's not taught in schools at all.
For $1.99, man, I'll walk y'all through that nice and slow. Do it on the live, $1.99.
$1.99. Iman Shumpert, man, it's a pleasure. This is actually our first interview. I mean, you've interviewed before on the platform with Coach PR, but this is the first time me and you were actually sitting down together, man. This was an honor and a pleasure, man.
I appreciate
Hope we can do it again one day.
Yes, sir.
That's how we do it. Peace.